Hello, Philadelphia! I'm Bruce Buffer. It's time for the Anthony Gargano Show!
Good morning, everybody. Happy Football Friday and a Victory Friday live from the Xfinity Den. This is the Anthony Gargano Show. And so much to unpack last night, and began with a loogie and ends with a W. It was a wild opening night. Everything in between. An incredible first half, up and down the field. Every score, every drive was a score. Every possession turned into a score. And then the weather delay hit, and it was a hold-on piece. But ultimately, look, it was a good win. There was a lot of good things. I always look at this stuff early, and you gotta kind of grade it on a curve. And you got to see, listen, starters didn't play in the preseason. This is so much of September is really a glorified preseason that counts. And there was a lot of good, beginning with Jalen Hurts, who I thought played a great football game. But there was a lot of good stuff, especially rallying after you lose your best player on defense before the game even starts, or before the first snap of the Cowboys. Ultimately, you win, and it was a great night. It was fun. The Eagles are back! And I mean, that part of it was awesome, right? So let's kind of unpack it a little bit. Starting with Carter. Listen, we've talked about him before. I think he is a bit, I don't want to say unhinged, but I think he's, he's got that kind of, mentality. I think he's, got some demons. And I think he was a little bit paranoid. I know that, the Dak spit first thing was out there, but he did. But I don't think he was spitting at Jalen, right? But when that thing happens, he gets triggered, right? I could tell you chapter and verse. He gets triggered, and, I think he just was like, you just spit at me. Why are you spitting at me? And then, he came over, and that was that. Now, you can't, obviously, the kid knows, you can't do that. And you're in front of the referee. It's going to hurt him because he's probably going to get suspended. And not having Jalen Carter for the Chiefs would be very, very worrisome. But, I think what makes him so great is the fact that he is a little unhinged, right? That he's got that switch, and when the switch goes off, it's what makes people afraid of him. It's what makes people scared of him. He has his way in the middle of that line because he's ferocious. He is, and you got to take that with the. It's the price you pay, right? He's so dominant. He's so scary that the flip side is you're going to have to deal with it. He's going to spit on a quarterback before the first snap, and he's going to get ejected. That's what Jalen Carter is. I mean, it's not about thinking through it rationally. We're at home going, "What are you doing? What are you doing?" But it's not a rational thing. He, when the switch clicks, he kind of blacks out and goes into this kind of mode. So that's my belief of what happened. Having have an understanding of him. He's a great player, and that was a huge loss. I think it hurt the pass rush. It certainly hurt the interior run game. Jordan Davis, I thought, stepped up. He wound up playing 87% of his snaps, right? And I thought he stepped up. The one thing that stood out on the defense, we'll get to the offense in a moment, but what stood out to me on the defense is, besides Adoree Jackson struggling, is they're awesome when they flow to the ball. Right, Jihaad Campbell is going to be a flat-out stud. He creates the turnover that ultimately kind of wins you the game, because they're going to probably go in for 7 in that spot, and he gets the ball out. He was all over the field, but they flow to the ball. Like, if you saw last night when Dak checked down, any kind of check down, it's never going to work. That's such a huge advantage for the Eagles defense, because they flow to the football so well, and they all do it, right? Bond, who was again great. You saw Jihaad Cooper. That's what he does. They flow to the football so well that those dump offs, and where it looks like there's space and you can grab 5-6 yards, all of a sudden evaporate. And, those plays become 1, 2, maybe even a negative play, because that happened a couple times last night. Other than that, it was, I know that CD Lamb dropped a couple of balls. There were 3 dropped. The third one was a really tough catch where he extends. But the first 2, wow. And they should have had points. The first 2 were right in the breadbasket, and like perfect throws, and he just dropped them. But overall, man, I thought the defense rallied without Jalen Carter, and I thought they played well. Offensively, I can't give you more superlatives for Jalen Hurts. I thought Hurts played an outstanding football game, just an outstanding football game. He was every bit. I always call him a point guard, like Magic Johnson, and it's interesting because Michael Jordan was in the house last night, but he's every bit the point guard. And that's how he played it last night. He was just so dangerous with his legs, and having to spy him. And honestly, I don't know how the Cowboys, on that third down, the last third down to seal the game, when they spread you out, why? I don't know why you wouldn't have a spy, because you knew it was QB draw, like all the way. But the 2 touchdown runs early on those drives, it was all him. Right, he's such a great runner, man. It's such an amazing weapon, and that's what I mean about a point guard. And then he makes a beautiful throw on the money to Jahan Dotson down the field. I'd like to see more deep shots. I thought that was one thing I like to see, is a little more deep shots. He just throws that ball so well. That thing was a homing pigeon. Like, it was perfectly placed. Great ball. And then I thought he threw the ball over the middle of Goddard. Right, was on target there. I saw him going through his progressions. I thought he played very, very well. I thought he was the reason why they won. Right, Cowboys tried to stop Barkley, and they did in the second half. I would have liked to see a little bit more creativity in the second half on the run game, because they ran a lot of those interior runs, and the Cowboys kind of were stacked up. Now remember, Landon Dickerson's out of the game there too. So I think that also hurt the run game in the second half. But overall, man, listen, it was a weird game. We had Pat McClune on yesterday from the editor's desk, and Pat was like, listen, these openers are weird. And it played out exactly it. You have an hour delay because of weather. And I think that also kind of hurt both teams. But the Eagles had just gotten the turnover, all fired up, and they had been scoring on their drives, right? And they opened up the second half with a 6-minute drive, and Elliott, who was terrific, right, hits the 58-yard field goal. And they just get the turnover. They have all the momentum, and all of a sudden there's a weather delay. So I think that kind of stung them. I mean, it hurt both teams, but I think it stung the Eagles even more. And, overall, it was a weird game that started weird, that was very explosive and exciting early, and very deliberate and tense late. It was a fun night, great opening night. I mean, celebrity packed, banner raising. It was an incredible evening last night. Just a fun night. Here's my man, Bo Wolf, doing a great job last night. But it had so much. I thought there was so much to unpack. Good morning, VG. 1-0.
What's up, man? Great night.
It was a great night.
Boys, the men in the house raised the banner. They televised a fight song being sung. You like all that?
Yeah, that was great.
Started off a little rough with me. I lost my fullback early.
Yeah,
but I was looking forward to his 3 plays a game.
Yeah,
but a win's a win. Just win, baby. Doesn't matter what it looks like. We got some questions. We all got some questions going on.
I don't have a ton of questions, a ton of worry. I mean,
you think? Well, I mean, another obvious one is AJ. Is he got a hammy issue? Is that lingering? Is that a problem?
See, I can't. It's obviously the one catch at the end of the game was like, wow. Like we kept saying, where's AJ? Right?
Yeah.
Where's AJ? You kept thinking that. Where's AJ? I have to see the all 22 because I don't know. I saw Jalen going through his progressions. So I'm sure he always looks for AJ. So AJ must not have been open. I got to see it. I got to see the all 22.
Which is a little confused because we talked during the week. The secondary isn't great on the Cowboys. So for them to shut down Devontae and AJ like that.
I mean, listen, they got players, Bland and Diggs. I mean, they're not a bad secondary. I disagree with that whole that notion. And look, Dotson, like you're going to roll coverage. And Dotson was the guy that was free. Goddard was the guy that was free.
Yeah, Campbell's going to be a player.
Dude, he's a great player. He's going to be a stud. He's just going to be a stud.
He's been coverage. I mean, this is his first game. Wait till week 3 with him. He's going to be.
Dude, I was excited from him last night. I mean, I really was. I was
a little quiet first half, but that didn't mean he's not making mistakes. Second half, he was all over the place.
I thought he played a sensational game. Yeah. I mean, the game starts out weird when you lose Carter, right?
Yeah,
and it was wild, man. It was just a wild night from every which way. Let's start. You and I go through it, but early on, Jalen was sensational. I thought he played a great game.
When he's playing like that, it's almost impossible to defend. When he's got his legs rolling like that.
Yeah.
And everyone, I think Nick used it last night, some other people, is very efficient. You can't get more efficient than what he's doing.
That was the word.
Yeah.
That was the word.
And I think it's a good word for it.
Efficient. Yeah, I think so too. He plays like an elite point guard. I keep bringing up, like, he was like Magic Johnson. Like, he took exactly what you needed. And it's a backbreaker, right? Like, these defenses, you're stopping Barkley, and effectively they held Saquon to 60 yards, like nothing in the second half.
7 yards. Oh, no, 7 carries, 1 yard after the delay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to give it to him. But I mean, is that a little?
No, but I'm saying that Jalen had to shoulder a lot of that. It's backbreaking when you have a quarterback that can run like that. Like, it's such a great weapon. Those 2 touchdown runs were all him. He's just such a great runner, though. It's amazing how good he is.
He's got a good feel for finding the holes where it's at. Yeah. He doesn't hesitate either. Once he sees it, he goes.
He's got good moves.
Yeah.
No, I thought he was spectacular, to be honest with you. Like, that deep ball. I want to see more deep shots.
His deep balls are really nice.
It was perfect. It was perfect.
Goddard looked good.
Yeah, I mean, he caught a couple over the middle.
I
thought there was an emphasis on kind of using the middle of the field a little bit, and he went to Goddard, and he found his throwing lanes. I thought he was really good. It's funny because he'll never be a quarterback where you're going to look at stats and numbers. He's not. That's not who he is. Right. And there's a lot of times when these quarterbacks give these gaudy numbers that are bloated. Right. He could have been down. It's one of those shootout type of things. He's just such a winner. He
is a winner. He's
a winner. I mean, that's the best way to describe him.
He's pretty stoic, but I think that's a good thing. He's very calm. He sees the game. I think he sees the game really well.
Yeah.
He looked like a veteran out there. He looked like a veteran just won a Super Bowl.
Yeah, no, he did. He was very calm. I mean, just in control. He led. It was just such a it was fun, man. It was a great night. Kevin Petullo's script was great. I mean, they went up and down the field, so his opening script was perfect.
I thought it was a little conservative the second half. It felt like.
Yeah, those couple drives, I thought so too. They ran a lot of inside runs, and without Dickerson, man, it's just hard because he's such a difference maker. And
I don't even know if he was 100% the whole game.
No, well, obviously he wasn't because he had to leave the game. But
no, I mean before he got rolled up on his back. Before that, it's just he didn't seem to have the surge that he usually has.
Well, he should have played, right? I mean, we expect, right? So that's kind of what it is.
I mean, are you concerned? It's hard to analyze without Jalen Carter there, but not a lot of pressure.
Yeah, it's impossible to break it down without Jalen Carter. Impossible. Because he's going to give you a one-on-one. They didn't work. All of a sudden, they didn't have to worry about doubling Carter. That was such a huge loss. Trust me, there would have been way more pressures from Smith and from Nolan and our boy.
Majomo?
No, Hunt.
Jalix.
Yeah. No, but just because of the idea that you got to double, forgive me, the late night, double and triple, Carter, like that just matters. So that's going to create opportunities, one-on-one opportunities. So you can't. First of all, you got to grade the first month on a curve anyway, just because of the preseason. Like that's real,
right? This is preseason basically. First couple games. I mean, it shows you. I mean, Carter because they really look that front looks ordinary without him.
Yeah, listen.
Wow,
you can't lose him.
No,
like you can't.
No,
you can't lose him. Like he's got to be a huge part of it because he's your best player.
There are some promising reports. We'll have Mike G on today. He put out that spitting usually does not end up in a suspension. So I guess there's been a history of some spitting happening in the past.
The only problem is, and I don't want to get too ahead of it, but the only problem is that it happens in the first game, right, in front of the whole world.
I know.
And so I wouldn't put it past them to suspend him for a game.
Just for like PR.
The Chiefs game, the next game, though, do you think that they will allow that to happen?
I don't think they care about that. I don't think they care about the Chiefs. I think they look at it and go, like, I'll be honest with you, I probably would be surprised if he doesn't get a game because the nature in which it happened in front of everybody's talking about loogies, right? It's a Seinfeld episode.
He's a Hawk Tua guy.
Right. He's the Hawk Tua guy, right? Like all that stuff, and it happens. The whole world's watching. It's your opening night in the NFL, and it happens on the first play.
I think you're right. Just because of the whole perception they have going on, they're worried about the perception and the way they're clamping down on the taunting too.
Oh, that's outrageous!
So if they're going to clamp down the taunting like that,
you're right.
You can't be honking a loogie. It's going to happen.
I can't imagine that he's not.
What did Nolan Smith do in that situation? All he did was flex. It's not like he was doing anything else.
I agree.
Like you can't flex on a guy.
They just completely over legislate.
It's outrageous.
This defense might not. They may get a lot of those penalties.
Come on, get the guy.
They got a little edge to them.
I love it.
Even Coop got in the scrum and drew 2 penalties.
I love it. Give me a ferocious defense. Give me a defense that'll do that. I'm in.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
I'm in.
The 15 yards are fine. The ejections, let's not get any ejections anymore.
Well, obviously, but I have no issue with defense with teeth.
And if you're going to do it, if you're going to get ejected, punch him or slap him. Don't spit.
Well, listen. Listen. The kid is, he's got demons.
Yeah.
And you've seen it historically. Players like that. They get suspended. They do this thing. They got that edge,
sue, right? Like the whole thing. But what makes him so great as a player, is the fact that he's got demons. That's the truth.
Do you think there was like a planned attack by Dak, knowing how Jalen Carter is?
I don't.
That if he provokes him that way, spitting, he might get him.
They're going to plan it before the game even starts.
Hey, you never know, man. That might be something they're like, we know we can get him.
No, I don't believe it. I don't believe that. I don't believe that he was spitting at him. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. I don't believe that.
It was pretty close if he wasn't spitting at him.
He wasn't. I really don't believe it. And knowing the kid, knowing Jalen, like he'll black out.
Yeah.
Like, and he'll have that, he's, if there people are laughing in a setting, and he may think that you're laughing at him.
All right.
Then you better run.
Yeah.
Right? Because that's kind of what but that's what fuels him and makes him a great player. Listen, the kid, it's a sin. He had a horrible childhood growing up. Horrible childhood, right? Like he's got demons. I mean, he had a rough upbringing.
Yeah.
And, he had to go to house and the whole thing. And it sometimes those kids that come from those backgrounds is what makes them great. Because especially on defense, it's such a primal position, like defensive tackle, linebacker, right? Safety. It's less edge. It's less thinking and more reacting, right? It's kind of what's in you. Mm-hmm. It's aggression. Mm-hmm. And that aggression is what makes people great. Like Brian Dawkins will talk to me. I wrote a story when I was at the Inquirer about Doc and how he had to harness his demons. And he did it through the Wolverine, right? The character. He used to call himself Idiot Man. So when the game would start and he would do that, when he would do the entrance and be on the ground, that was when he would transform. In fact, I did the whole story was about his transformation. And it would start when he was getting dressed. And that's when the transformation in his mind began. And that's how he was able to have a Hall of Fame career, because he was able to successfully harness that aggression.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right? Yeah. But he was, again, he had his own issues. So it's all part of it. It's what makes you a great football player, man.
Old Dirty Am's in the comments is a great one saying that Jalen Carter is Jason Voorhees.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, it's very good.
The chat really thinks, and they're like Andrew, they think Dak was spitting at. We might have to get a physicist to analyze the angle and the trajectory of this.
Watching the breakdown of it, we can't show it on here, but watching the breakdown of the spit, he does spit in his direction. He looks at Jalen Carter and makes like a smirk.
Yeah. You're reading it. You guys are reading into it. I mean, honestly,
I'm with you. I think he spit towards the ground, not at him.
And again, talking to people.
It's at the ground for sure. It's not at him.
Talking to people that were there, I don't think he was doing it.
Yeah, at the ground's different than a shot right at your neck.
I know we're all about
don't spit.
I know we're about fandom and everything else, but if I'm not going to invent a story as an excuse. I mean, this is what it is.
Jake Elliott looking good, strong.
Monster.
Woo.
Monster leg.
That would have been good from 70.
Are you guys worried about A.J. Brown only getting one target in the fourth quarter?
I mean, listen, the offense needs time to work itself, right? It's got to get on the same page. Again, I got to look at the all-22 to see where he was and, what was up. Obviously, they tried to get the ball. I saw you could see Jalen looking his way.
He had a couple looks his way.
Right?
Yeah, he did.
And so, Jalen loves to go to AJ. So that's one of the issues. And I got to see the coverage, how the Cowboys played him. I mean, they were probably looking to take him out, right? Yeah. Like you're in a roll coverage his way. But we'll get to Baldy because I'm sure he broke it down. Fun show for you today to break everything down. We got our own EJ Smith coming up in just a moment. To kind of go over all the stuff from the Eagles standpoint. He does a great job covering the birds for all PHLY. Then we're going to go to Franny Films, all right, for some breakdown. I know Films is looking at it, and so we'll talk to him, go a little X and O. Mike Garafolo from the NFL Network, South Philadelphia's own, is going to join us around 10. We have our Rothman injury report at 10:30. Baldy coming on about 10:35, and then the brain in overtime, the head overtime, to go over the weekend's card of football and get you some picks and the whole thing for the weekend. So fun show. Let's take care of some business. What about a little golden nugget?
Golden Nugget. Yo, do you know for the past 30 years, Golden Nugget Jewelers, they've operated out of the very same location in the heart of Philadelphia. And that's the spot you want to go to. As we've told you before, it is engagement season is approaching. You got Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas, even New Year's, not that far off. You don't want to be rushing around. You want to plan this out. So go visit our friends at Golden Nugget Jeweler. Like customers from across Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and even Baltimore, New York City, they all go to Golden Nugget Jewelers to find that perfect engagement ring or wedding band. They got a highly trained, dedicated staff providing a real personalized shopping experience. They're super informative. They take their time to answer any questions you have. They work with your budget. They're not pushy at all. They're just a pleasure to deal with. They have a vast selection of engagement rings and wedding bands along with high-end watches, fashion jewelry, sparkling diamond necklaces, bracelets, earrings, and much more. You receive a final cleaning and a written appraisal with every engagement ring purchase. Golden Nugget Jewelers, they've been family-owned and operated since 1987, right there on Chestnut and 8th in downtown Philly. You deserve an expert, and you deserve the best price. Golden Nugget Jewelers, where Philly gets engaged. Visit goldennuggetjewelry.com to learn more. Golden Nugget.
Golden Nugget. You're going to love it. Hey, let's talk about Ford. In fact, Baldy's Big Hits presented by Ford. Let's talk about the Explorer, America's all-time best-selling SUV. A legacy of family trust and performance. They got 3-row seating for up to 7 passengers. That's great for families and road trips. I got to get one.
Yeah.
I think I got to get one. I
agree.
I got to get the big Ford Explorer.
Yeah.
You would love it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I mean, listen, I got equipment, yesterday.
All blacked out, too.
That'd be great. Yesterday, I mean, listen, I took Kevin Nagandi down in my car to meet us we went to Skinny Joey's.
Mm-hmm.
And, I got stuff all over. I go, this is the sports car. I'm sorry. Not the sports car. It's the sports equipment car. So it's banged up. It smells. So don't feel bad. I need a
smells like a locker room.
Yeah, I need a good Ford Explorer available. It's amazing. The i4 engine delivers power with efficiency, up to 300 horsepower. It's packed with a Ford Copilot 360, a suite of advanced driver assist features. A 12.3 digital instrument cluster adds a high-tech feel to the driving experience. It's amazing. A big, large touchscreen, voice command. You got terrain management system, lets you select drive modes like snow, sand, and tow or haul. It's amazing. In fact, you get up to 87.8 cubic feet of cargo space when the rear seats are folded down. It is something, all right? It's built for families, but ready for adventure. A true do-it-all SUV. For more information, visit your local Ford store.
Can I just mention real quick, too, we're doing that Big Brothers, Big Sisters month here at PHLY Sports. If you're into YouTube watching, there's a little donate button under the chat. Click on that donate button, throw a couple bucks to Big Brothers, Big Sisters. They're doing really good work out there. It's an important cause, an important organization. Help them out if you can.
I like it. Yeah, it's a beautiful thing. All right, let's get my man up here. The all PHLY Birds reporter, our man, E.J. Smith.
Plays guitar, P-A-L-Y, Eagles rock star. It's E.J. Smith. E.J. Smith.
The Xfinity guest line. Good morning, my man. How are you, pal?
I'm doing well, man. And listen, the listeners of your show got to feel like they heard it here first about Jihaad Campbell. I mean, come on. We've been gassing him up all summer. He comes out, lives up to the hype. I mean, yeah, what a performance. I feel like we have to start there.
That kid. Can I tell you, EJ, you know that. We've talked about him. Like, you're right. You and I have been, we got the gas pump in like all summer because he just looks different. And like the couple times I was at practice, I'm going, oh my God, this freaking kid is just like, we loved him in college, but when you see him, you go, this kid's a stud. What a freaking beast. What a great pick.
Yeah, he had that pass breakup over the middle of the field. I think it was in the third or the fourth quarter. And it was just like I thought it was a defensive back at first. I thought, wait, what number does Jacorian Bennett wear again? Like,
Right.
this guy is covering so much ground in the middle of the field. And yeah, we talked about it all summer, and he really did. Like, the range of that linebacking core, the amount of the space that they cover against Jake Ferguson, anybody really from that Cowboys offense that was running those routes in the middle of the field, you could tell that Dak Prescott, we talked about how he can really, exploit the seams. And those guys were really covering up so much space, again, almost like defensive backs. So I really am curious to see how this unfolds over the course of the season, how Vic Fangio uses these guys to take away those seam routes and, some of those digs, backside digs, stuff like that, because those guys they just cover so much ground. And, especially you think about Jihaad Campbell playing next to Zach Bond, right? And
Yes.
Zach Bond in the America's Game documentary was talking about how he's got all of these dream interceptions and that he has on his bucket list. He wants to take away the backside dig. He wants to steal a crosser away from the quarterback and cover three. He has all of these different types of schematic dreams. And I feel like that's just like a coach's, like that's what every coach wants to hear.
Dream.
And you just imagine now Jihaad Campbell playing next to that guy with the athleticism that he has. The sky is definitely the limit for that guy.
So what makes them so dangerous as a defense is the way they flow to the ball, right? Because a big play is checkdowns, right? Like checkdowns, ask the 2004 Eagles in the Super Bowl against the Patriots, which were all checkdowns, right? How they moved the ball in the third and fourth quarter. That piece of it, going underneath to get yards, it used to work against the Eagles defense, right? Because they weren't a great tackling team. This defense, right, and last year, but even more this year because of Campbell, how they flow to the football. They don't allow, and you saw it last night on display. Those checkdowns, those underneath routes, they swarm. And it looks, all of a sudden, the space evaporates and constricts, and now you're gang tackled.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's almost like a prerequisite to playing a Vic Fangio defense at this point. I mean, you look at Jihaad Campbell and Andrew Makuba, the way that those guys flow to the ball. They had a gang tackle at one point in the game, and it really does stand out. Like the play personality of those guys, it was obviously something that the team valued, and I think those guys are perfect fits for what Vic Fangio wants to do, and especially Campbell, again, that sideline to sideline range. This guy is just like, it's ridiculous because you got to remind yourself it's not maybe this year. He's not going to maybe have too much of a role as an edge rusher this year, but he can do that. At some point I could see them even deploying him there. So again, it seems like his role is only going to expand.
I almost don't want to waste.
No, yeah, I agree.
That's weird.
Yeah, I agree. He's a very good off-ball linebacker. Yeah.
Let's get to news. We got a lot of newsy stuff I want to go over with you. Let's start with the injuries. All right, only. Van Sumeren's a knee, right? So he's probably gone for a year, right?
Yeah, no, it didn't look good. You could tell the second that, I mean, even on the broadcast, they caught his facial reaction. The trainers weren't even really talking to him. It seemed like they knew right away. So it's a shame for him. I mean, he had the bad knee injury last year.
Gone. Sorry, VG.
That's horrible.
Yeah, no, I mean, listen, I wanted to see it too. So yeah, and again, he had the knee injury last year. It seemed like he knew something was up the second it happened. So yeah, I don't think it looks good for him.
Landon Dickerson, he gets rolled up on his back, already banged up to start the game. I mean, just a beast mode, just a play in the game itself, then gets hurt. What's the outlook for him?
Yeah, I didn't see Landon in the locker room. Again, I think that this is probably the type of thing that he'll benefit from having that long layoff between week 1 and week 2.
Yeah.
Again, you mentioned it. He's banged up going into the season. To some extent, I think this is probably going to be the experience until he can really get right. You almost wonder if they could try and steal him a week or two at some point. But yeah, I think that he's a type of guy, like, he's going to play. If he can walk, he's going to play. And I feel like, because of that, I wouldn't count him out for week 2 quite yet. But again, I think that it's the type of thing he's going to need that long layoff for sure.
Yeah. And you saw, you missed them. I mean, a lot of those inside runs did not work in the second half with Saquon. I mean, they were crowding the line of scrimmage. They were packing inside between the tackles, and, Saquon had nowhere to run.
Right. Yeah, no, I mean, the interior of that line didn't look quite the same. I mean, even when even when Landon was out there, it seemed like maybe he wasn't close to 100%. But yeah, I do. I think that the interior of that line, you kind of could see that they didn't get as much time together in the summer as they usually would.
Which brings us like the game itself. All right, and well, let's keep going newsy real quick. Carter, obviously. I would be surprised if he escapes without a suspension. I know the history that
Really? Okay.
Yeah, I know the history. Again, the history is usually you don't get suspended for that. But my fear is it happened right before the first snap of the game in front of the world, and you know how the league is so hypersensitive with stuff like that. And because, like, if it happened in the middle of a Sunday game, with all maybe he escapes. But the fact it was the opener, I'm kind of think he might get a game.
Yeah, I mean, I go both ways with that because there is not really a precedent for the 1-game suspension for something like that. But I agree that, I saw that Mike Florio reported last night that the NFL has really been harping on, respecting your opponent. Don't do anything disrespectful to the opponent. Apparently they've been harping on that all offseason. So is there a chance that they want to make an example out of him? I think that's what it would be. I kind of feel like, at least in terms of whether or not it would be deserved. I feel like the Dak Prescott initiation of this. I mean, listen, we are not going to absolve Jalen Carter for what he did. Even he wouldn't do that. He took accountability for it after the game. But I did wonder if that kind of softens it ever so slightly in his favor. And I think the fact that he came out again, I want to give him credit for coming out after the game and just addressing it head on. Yeah, that's what you have to do. You don't want to let it fester. Yeah, exactly. And I think it's funny when we were walking into the locker room, I was talking to another reporter and there was some speculation that Jalen Carter had already left. And I was saying that would be the worst thing you could do, let this just build and build. And honestly, I think, even in the eyes of the league, coming out and being contrite, I actually think would help his case to avoid the suspension. So, but I said honestly, the only person in this building that could get him to talk after the game would be Big Dom. I don't think this is something that, I mean, he's the one that would get through.
You and I have talked about this. What makes Jalen Carter so great is he's a bit unhinged and that there's a switch and the switch goes off. And if the switch goes off, it's not like people go, oh, what's he thinking? He's not thinking. He blacks out and he just is in a space. And it's what makes him a great football player. It also is the downside, which is he'll spit on Dak Prescott in front of the whole world.
Right. I mean, in college, he was someone who punched one of his teammates in practice. And I think it's he's got a duality to him where it's he's smiling the whole time. You're right. I think
that's when you run. When he smiles, I was told when he smiles, run. Because he gets this grin. When people were saying, hey, it's a bad look, he smiled. That's not what he was doing. It's not a smile like every normal human being would smile. It's not. No, this is a sinister grin, right? Where he's not even processing. He doesn't even understand what's on his face. He's in a different place.
Yep. Yeah. And I think that's where he was last night. I mean, the Eagles have to figure out how to get him to toe the line. I think that's something that they've done a good job with for the most part over the last few years. You think about the concerns with him coming out of college, when the Eagles drafted him. I think that they've done a pretty good job keeping him within those lines. But he definitely crossed it last night.
Yeah. The other question that's burning, and we'll get to the really good stuff because I don't want to bury and always lead with negative because it's just a story. Because I thought that they played really well. I thought Jalen was sensational. I want to get to some of the superlatives, but the AJ. What did you see? What did you hear about AJ and the only the one target at the end of the game? I haven't seen the all 22.
Yeah, no, I haven't watched it. Jalen and Nick both mentioned that the Colts match coverages, Matt Eberflus, somebody who's used to that match coverage, a lot of cover 4, a lot of cover 2. And I think that was, if you think about the areas that AJ wins, it is usually against single high, outside the numbers. I think they did a good job taking that away. Again, but both Nick and Jalen, they went in quick succession. They both talked about the match coverages that were really taking a lot of the options away because you I think my first instinct when Jalen has a game like he did, he had, let's see, I got it up right here. He had, sorry, this isn't the best podcasting here. He had 14 rushing attempts, and usually when you have a guy when you have Jalen gets up to that double digit rushing attempts, a lot of times I start to wonder what was going on with the passing game. But I think this was a game where he needed his legs. He needed to create out of structure because of the coverage downfield. So I think that was really a big part of why AJ had such limited usage. But at the end of the day, like, there's no excuse for it. You have to get this guy involved.
Well, there isn't, right? Like you said it. Like, if they're playing you that way, you're just not open. It's, what are you going to do? I get trying to force the ball to him. I saw Jalen looking his way.
They definitely had him in the progressions a lot of the time. I think you manufacture a touch for the guy at some point, especially early in a game. He's someone who talks about wanting to get in that rhythm. Yeah. So,
I would agree.
But at the same time, I thought that Kevin Patullo's opening script was really good. It's kind of a double-edged sword here. I mean, because he mixed up personnel groupings. He had some really good play designs, got the running backs out in space. So, again, it wasn't like they scored 3 touchdowns on their first 3 drives. And I think that is where you would have wanted to see a manufactured touch for AJ. But again, it's hard to argue with the results early in the game.
Like, it's still, you got to take whatever that defense is giving you, you got to exploit it, right? Like, and that's where Jalen, I always, I like to describe him as Magic Johnson on a football field, right? He's that point guard that whatever it takes, right? And he's such a great runner. I mean, he is ridiculous. I honestly, it was funny when the last play to salt the game away, I was shocked that the Cowboys didn't spy him. Like, I get not spying him because you're worried about AJ down the field, so you only have so much personnel. But when they spread you out like that, you know that it's a Q draw right there.
Yeah, no, I mean, we've seen it so many times where they run that quarterback draw and the floodgates open up for him. So, no, I think his scrambling ability, it's not even a controversial thing to say. I think it was the difference in the game. And again, I think the AJ stuff reminds me 3 years ago when they went to Detroit. Devontae had 0 catches in the season opener against the Lions. And it's funny, I remember talking to Devontae after the game, and you could tell that he was a little frustrated by his usage. AJ Brown had just come to town, and all of a sudden Devontae doesn't have a single catch. And they got him 7 targets, and he had 7 catches the following game that season. So I think we'll see the ebbs and flows. Like, if you're asking me, is this something or nothing? I think this is season opener noise. I think it is like, you don't need to be worried about it. Again, the offense in those first 3 drives, or you probably, again, would have wanted to see a manufactured AJ Brown play. It's not like they were stagnant. It's not like they weren't productive. So if we're sitting here in 2-3 weeks and AJ Brown still isn't a big part of this offense, that's when I think we should have some questions. But again, I think that this was just kind of the nature of an opener being a little bit strange, and maybe the matchup dependent thing for sure.
Yeah.
Can I also, while they're taking AJ away, though, it seemed like they held Saquon kind of in check, and they also Devontae. I mean, 4 targets total and 24 yards between Devontae and AJ. So this Eberflus defense, while they match out with AJ, they're still is it a defense that takes away both wideouts and you got to beat them other ways?
Well, that's where Dotson. That's why Dotson was singled up.
Yeah, I mean, and you think about,
and that's why Jalen also, EJ, was able to run. They had those lanes because that's where we mean about taking what you get. Like, you could take away the outside guys, you could flood it because you know that Saquon's going to get his. But what's left, right, EJ? What's left is Jalen's got freedom, right? He's got run lanes, and your slot receiver or your third receiver is going to have space singled up.
Yeah, I mean, and again, the interior offensive line, they didn't have the best day. I thought Solomon Thomas actually gave them a lot more trouble than even Kenny Clark did. I know Kenny Clark was billed as this, world beater, run stopper, but I thought it was Solomon Thomas that gave him a little bit more trouble. I want to watch the tape back on that. But I think that if you think about Matt Eberflus, he comes from that Colts tree. We saw Jonathan Gannon, and I think Eberflus is like a better interpretation of what that defense is supposed to look like. And it's supposed to make you, grind your way down the field, take the underneath stuff, take what you get. or take what you can underneath. And again, like they want you to have those long drives. That was the Jonathan Gannon thing was, 10 play drives, 11 play drives, try and force you to make a mistake. And that's why Jalen Hurts' performance was so impressive, because he didn't make very many mistakes. He had, 4 incompletions, and 3 of them were throwaways and 1 was a drop. What I mean? He was, and again, like this wasn't a game where it was like apprehensive that somebody's not open down or somebody's open downfield. He doesn't pull the trigger. This was him being in flow.
To Jihaad was like he throws that ball. If there was any quibble, I'd like to see a couple more shots downfield.
Sure, yeah, but again, against that defense, it's tough because sometimes you're forcing the issue. Yeah. So, I agree with you. I think that they have to be able to scheme some of that stuff up. But I think Eberflus is one of those guys. He's not a good head coach, but he's a good defensive coordinator. I agree. Even after the game, Hurts said, this is a guy we're going to be seeing 2 times a year, and you could tell he was maybe a little bit unhappy about that matchup, or at least thinking about the fact that they're going to have to come up with some stuff for that matchup. Because I think that Eberflus did a good job scheming some stuff up against those guys.
Yeah, Jordan Davis, I thought played really well. I mean, the fact that there was a couple early on, I was like, oh, dude, like you got to do better. But then I thought he settled in, and without Carter, what did he play? 87% of the snaps.
Yeah, I think it was 55 snaps, which is second in his career. He had that game against the Bills in OT where he got up to 62, and that was rare for him. So, yeah, second highest snap total in his career.
Yeah, no. Hey, Andrew, I know we got Franny coming up. Why don't we have Franny and could we do Franny and EJ?
Yeah, I have to set it up, but I can.
Yeah, like I like to have the all of us.
Give me a second to set that up.
Yeah, do what you got to do, and we'll get to all 3 of us. This way we can bat it around. What else came out of last night? The delay itself, it just took the entire steam out of the game. It's so hard. You have a halftime, right? And you have your routine. You come out of the half, right? You play whatever it was, half a quarter basically, and
then it was 4:44 on the clock when they came back out.
Yeah, and then you got to go play. Then you got to go sit for an hour and then get yourself back. And I just thought it kind of just completely, kind of took the air out of the game.
Yeah, I mean, I think that it was very telling that the Eagles' first drive in the fourth quarter, it started at the very start of the fourth quarter, and they went 11 plays for 32 yards, and they had 7 minutes, 26 seconds of possession. I think you could tell they were just trying to take the air out of the game at that point. They had lost the rhythm, and I think it was very telling and it kind of indicative of the way that entire post-delay happened. So I think that the defense has had time to adjust. I think that, they honestly, for a certain level, and somebody like Jordan Davis really benefited from that long layoff. I think both sides of the ball, or both sides defensively, benefited from that layoff, getting fresh again. So yeah, it definitely was an ugly game when it came back, but that's what the Eagles that's what we've come to know them for, is being able to grind those games out, and they were able to do it. They had those 2 drives in the fourth quarter to really salt the game away. Yeah.
The one good fortune was something that never happens, which is CeeDee Lamb with those drops. That
was crazy.
The two of them were like in his hands, in his arms. The third one, you're used to him catching it. I mean, it's a tough play because he's extending, but he usually makes that great catch. That was a shocker because if you think about the game itself, right? You have the turnover, they're going in to score, and it's a first down turnover with Sanders. And then you got the drops from CeeDee Lamb, or else it could have been a little bit of an ugly ending.
Yeah, well, it goes both ways too, because Quinion had a drop there.
Yes,
he spent all summer working on his hands, and the first chance he gets, what goes through his hands. But yeah, I mean, CeeDee gave them fits. Even when Quinion was matched up against him, he had trouble against him. And the third one, it's a diving catch. I don't think. You've seen him make that catch before, but it was a tough catch.
I'm not gonna label that a drop. I wouldn't label it a drop. But the first 2 were in his arms, and
for sure, the first
third one. I mean, you know how it is. Like, he makes that catch.
Yeah, he could have caught it. Yeah, and again, that one wasn't necessarily bad coverage. That was a tough assignment on the slot fade for Cooper to Gene. Yeah. But yeah, Quinion. I mean, again, I'll be interested to hear what Vic Fangio says about the plan. I'll be interested to hear what Fran says about the plan that they went into.
Let's bring Franny on. And here he is.
What's up, Fran?
Good morning, Franny Films.
Good morning, guys. How's everything going?
You're working probably on an hour's sleep, right?
Yeah, I got a couple hours, but just made my first pass through most of the defensive film. I'm not quite done the fourth quarter yet, but yeah, we're getting through it.
Why don't you tell us kind of what you saw? Tell EJ and I what you saw so far.
Yeah, I would say honestly, guys, my number one takeaway from watching the first 3.5 quarters, I think this was the best Jordan Davis game from start to finish that we've seen maybe ever in his career. Because I would say like the typical journey of watching Jordan Davis on tape is that, hey, you know what? He's got a flash play here or there. He does a good job holding up at the point of attack. You don't really get much pass rush juice outside of a play here or there. And then there's one flash play a game. To me, like there were a couple in the first half where I'm like, all right, there's a Jordan Davis play. Oh, there's a good one where he, forces the cutback. Oh, he held up really well here. Oh, there he is in the backfield. And I'm going through my notes and I'm like, I've written Jordan Davis's name down, 8, 9, 10, 11 times already.
I know.
To me, this was his best game. I mean, he had a couple rushes. We saw the near sack of Prescott, but he had a couple other nice ones earlier as well, where he was able to win quickly against the guard or against the center. And then to me, like in the run game, he has always been good, but not always dominant. In this one, I felt like this was one of his best, he completely controlled that play from snap to finish. And as the game went on, because of the amount of snaps that he played, it was even more impressive on top of it. So I was really juiced by what I saw from Jordan Davis in this game.
Yeah, I thought VJ and I were just talking about it. Did you do the offense yet or no?
No, not yet. Yeah. So that'll be next up for me.
Just off of your eyes, because you have very trained eyes, the A.J. Brown situation, because we've been talking about it, Eberflus defense, and that match coverage is built to kind of take him away and take those outside numbers plays. He's a pretty sharp guy. We both agree, EJ and I. What'd you see?
Yeah. To me, I'm excited to see what the route concepts were in terms of where were Jalen's eyes early in the down. It felt like watching the broadcast that I thought Jalen was making good decisions with the ball last night, and I didn't think it was a bad he looks indecisive back there. To me, like this felt like he's seeing it. He's being decisive. He looks calm. He looks confident. You didn't see like the feet going crazy or anything like that. Like
he was
to me, like
exceptional.
Yeah, I thought that he was strong in that way. So I am interested to go back and watch it. They didn't show great replays last night, which is not the typically the case with Sunday Night Football. It's week 1 for everybody. So I think when you're looking at what this film's going to look like, that's probably the number one thing offensively that I'm most excited to see. And I'll have more at the 2:00 show when we get together to do the film breakdown.
Yeah. We thought the same thing. Defensively, without Carter, that obviously impacts the edges, guys, and what you're going to get. Just the idea of the attention that you have to pay Carter. Would single guys up, give guys opportunity off the edges. So people going, oh, lack of pass rush. You can't take that kid out of the middle and expect to have elite pass rushers off the edge.
No question, especially when you don't have the ability to plan for that going in. It happened obviously it happened before the game starts. So for that to happen and then it's sudden change, all right, well, we got to throw everything out in terms of what we were planning. So if you're Nolan Smith, you're going to try and shoulder that load. Jordan Davis, you're going to try and shoulder that load. But I think that the Eagles defensive staff, if you go in knowing you don't have Jalen Carter, you might do things a little bit differently. Maybe you have a couple more things built into the game plan to try and account for that. But no, I think overall, I'm going to go back through and all right, let me watch just Nolan Smith and watch all of his snaps. Let me watch Jalix Hunt and just all of his snaps. There were a couple nice rushes from each guy. Mm-hmm. Honestly, that first big completion, I want to say it was the 29-yarder to CeeDee Lamb on the opening drive. Jalix Hunt was a half second away from a strip sack there, right? There were a couple rushes where it's all right, you're almost there. We've seen that in the past. That's kind of, the name of the game when you're talking about pass rush. But I think at the end of the day, it was not ideal in terms of losing Jalen Carter and his presence in the middle of that defensive line.
Just really quick, Dak Prescott said after the game, they had a protection plan that they had worked on all week that they threw out the window the second that Carter got kicked from the game. This was obviously a big shift for the way that the Eagles were probably expecting to see the Cowboys set up front.
Yeah. No, you completely get that. EJ and I were talking about Jihaad Campbell, and he's so good, man. The kid is going to be a star. He just pops. He's like running in knee, like when you see a highlight and they're focused on one player and it's like a neon, and that's what it feels like watching Campbell.
Yeah, it's interesting because obviously, look, he had the great pass breakup down the seam, which was outstanding, and then Bond had one on the same coverage call just a few plays later. So it'll be good to kind of put those side by side, doing a breakdown at some point this week. But I think when you're looking at Jihaad Campbell, still figuring out run game wise, like I think he's still like a step slow. Like physically, it's all there, right? You see the athleticism, you see the burst, you see the size and strength. I think from a mental standpoint, like, not bad, but still like, all right, like it's just okay there. So once that speeds up for him, it's going to be really fun to watch him in the middle of that defense, because even when he's just like a half step behind mentally, he's able to overcome that because of those physical traits. So and the toughness and competitiveness on top of it. So I'm excited to see what he looks like, 3-4 weeks from now.
I know. Could you imagine?
I was hope.
And then next to Bond. I mean, my God, the two of them. Oh, God. They're so good up the middle of the Eagles.
I mean, when's the last time you saw two Eagles linebackers that have the ability to play this way? Not in my lifetime, in terms of like, watching the Eagles.
I mean, you got to go back to the Buddy Ryan defense when you had Seth and who was the Todd Bell? Who was the other one? Reichenbach was in the middle. No, they're ridiculous. And then, being up the middle, like we were talking about this, they flow to the football so well that anything underneath, any check downs, they just snuff it out.
Yeah, and that's why, and honestly too, like the intermediate area of the field, you saw like that dig route that was complete, or that was dropped rather by CD, the one that hit him like right in the face mask. Jihaad Campbell's the linebacker on the opposite side of that, and I'm watching this play like over and over this morning, and I'm like, man, like in a couple weeks, he's going to see this, and he is going to try and make a play on this ball. And he's going to try and get into that passing lane. Just because it's one of those things where, like, all right, you see it once, you see it a second time. Once you see it the third or fourth time, he recognizes that a little bit faster. I think in an ideal world, he's there to kind of intersect that route and maybe collision the catch point a little bit better. But I'm really, really excited to see what Jihaad Campbell looks like in a couple weeks.
All right, boys, let me hit you with the final thoughts that kind of stood out to you guys. EJ, I'll start with you. Give me what you liked, if there's any concerns, what those are, and kind of looking at it, understanding that, this is still half a preseason, right? Like you're still kind of, getting used to everything and getting acclimated.
Yeah, I felt like the second half really felt like last year's version of this team in the regular season, and that it was a dominant defense. The offense wasn't always necessarily what you'd expect because of the talent that they have, but they figure out ways to grind out games and they figure out ways to win. I think, again, these are like almost glorified preseason games for this team. They are figuring some stuff out, but the way that Jalen Hurts played, I mean, that really stands out to me. He's been so comfortable. It's like, it's hard, again, it's hard to talk about him being confident. Like, he's a confident guy to begin with, but it's almost like comfortable in his own skin. Just a little bit more affirmed by the last year. Some of the things, Michael Jordan in the stands, he's doing the shrug to the crowd. Like, I think he is just a little bit more comfortable being who he is. And I think, again, that I think it did manifest itself a little bit in the way that he played against the Cowboys. I think that that's one of the more encouraging things from the game. Obviously, the outside cornerback thing, that's something they're going to have to get figured out. I think, again, I'm curious to hear. We'll talk about this at 2 p.m., Fran, like the coverage decisions, so whether or not they were shading coverage for Adoree Jackson and kind of what they can do moving forward there.
Yeah,
but
I want to see
in general,
I have to tell you, Rothman, I want to see
I thought
Bennett.
Bennett looked okay the few plays he had. So, I think they've got some things to figure out. But again, this kind of did feel like resuming, at least the postseason kind of notwithstanding, because they went up another level. But I think this is the version of the Eagles that we saw from, at least in that second half, that we saw for a lot of last year. And that is an encouraging thing.
Franny?
Yeah, I mean, to me, and this is without having watched the offensive side, really enthused by what I felt like I watched live last night with Jalen Hurts, with the offensive line. I mean, the tackles looked awesome against these young Dallas pass rushers that they were so excited about, that they were willing to trade the best young defensive player in football. So I think the fact that you saw that from Jordan, you saw that from Lane, A little bit worried about Landon. I do wonder if the organization will have to do something to just kind of protect him from himself a little bit here and just say like, all right, let's put you on ice for a week or so and really kind of get you healthy. But I think at the end of the day, looking over to the defensive side, I mean, we talked about it. Right now, I actually don't think that Adoree was as bad as it seemed. I think that there were a couple of those coverage calls where it was like, not ideal. The first one, I think he just got schemed open, that was just a tough call. I talked about that on the post game show last night. It was essentially like a double move and a great route for CeeDee Lamb, like on 3rd and 1 play action. Like that's tough. But there were a couple where it's like, all right, like, it wasn't great, but I don't think it was like, oh, you got to pull this guy. You can't play him. So, we'll talk about that later. But I think overall, like Jihaad Campbell, Jordan Davis, really excited about what I saw from those two guys last night.
And so nothing changed the way your outlook for the season. Anything you saw last night, did it just kind of reinforce what you thought going in, EJ?
I mean, no, I think that they look the way that we expect them to look. And again, the fact that they got the win, even though there were stretches where they didn't exactly, play up to the potential that we think that they have. Again, that feels very, very familiar, but and not in a way that changes my mind on this team at all.
Fran?
Yeah. I mean, it's a marathon, not a sprint, right? Like I go back to, last August, last September, week 2, prime time, Atlanta Falcons. Zach Bond looked unplayable on the ground. He got cut like 5 or 6 times in the game. Bijan Robinson downhill, and it's like, oh man, like they're gonna have to fix this. And he's all pro, right? Nolan Smith playing in the 3rd preseason game. It's like, it's probably a bust. I don't know if he should be on the roster, and he becomes a centerpiece of the defense. I think that I'm excited to just let it all play out. They don't play the starters in preseason for a reason. Let these guys gear up. Nothing that we saw last night is going to change my overall outlook for what should be the best team in the NFC.
Yeah, I'm with you guys. Great stuff. 2:00 today. It'll be a good one with Bo, right? So we're 2:00 today. Yep. Great job, boys, last night. You guys are killing it. Off to a great start. Thank you, fellas.
Thanks, Ant.
Thanks for having me. Yep.
There they go. There they are. They all PHLY Bird Squad. Let's take care of some business, and then we get the national perspective, and we'll get. I'm dying to get Mike Garafolo's thought on the potential suspension for Jalen.
Yeah, he was tweeting stuff out about it earlier.
Yeah, so Mikey G will join us. He's in the know when it comes to this league in a big way. All right, let's talk about Xfinity. Yeah, Xfinity. Listen, the most reliable Wi-Fi with the best in-class equipment. The Xfinity Wi-Fi is booming. Whether you're streaming, gaming, or working from home, the Xfinity Wi-Fi booms, man. Do more of what you love and love how fast you do it with Xfinity Internet. Trust me, I have it and I need it. I got 2 gamers, all right? I'm a sports head. And my wife, she doesn't even watch TV. She watches her on her iPad. So she connects through that. So we're always all on at the same time, and it never lags. It always booms. And by the way, Xfinity also combines the power of internet and mobile. So you've got lightning fast speeds at home and on the go. With Xfinity Internet Mobile together, the Wi-Fi booms wherever you are. Xfinity Internet plus mobile and supercharge your phone with Wi-Fi power boost for the ultimate connection. Xfinity Internet Mobile are the ultimate power couple. Sort of like VG and the Pagan, right? And with Wi-Fi power boost from Xfinity Mobile, you get ultra-fast speeds, reliable internet at home, secure network on the go, so you're booming and you're safe. Internet plus mobile, stronger together. Xfinity combines the power of internet and mobile. Do more of what you love and faster. All right, restrictions apply. Xfinity Mobile requires Xfinity Internet. Check out Xfinity.com for details. All right, let's talk about the Bet Park Sportsbook online casino app. Big weekend of football coming up. The Brain will join us at 11 this morning. A little after, because I'm sure we'll go along with Baldy. And then the Brain will join us, and we'll dive into it because there's a lot of good stuff, a lot of good games. It's the first week of the season. We got a game tonight, Chargers and Chiefs. What's Kansas City tonight?
3 points, -3.
I was talking to my boy this morning.
How's he feeling? Which one, Harbaugh or Spags?
Herbert. Don't forget him.
Yeah. Which one of your boys?
It was Steve.
This is a Gargano Bowl tonight.
Yeah. It's going to be a good game. It's going to Charges.
No, when they're not playing the Eagles, I'm always going to root for Andy and Spags and Andy. That's the truth. Pro football, college are back. Live bet while you watch the action. BetParks is the only app I'll ever recommend. My team at BetParks online sportsbook casino app has a great offer for the new users. Download the app, open up an account, get 50 back on your first sports bet if it doesn't win. Yeah, you get $50, up to $50 back if you don't win. You know, it's perfect.
Yeah,
you'll get a BetParks bonus box with 50 BetParks coins and 50 bonus spins as well on the BetParks Collect 'em online slot game.
let's do it.
50 free spins. That's great. That's cool. Look at that. Bet Pro college football, fightings. You got golf. You got the Saturday morning soccer, MMA. Bet more than just a score. Touchdowns and rushing and passing yards and all the props you can handle. For all the terms and conditions, betparks.com. Bet college and pro football all season long with my team at the BetParks app, where there's always another way to win. Got to be 21, located in PA, New Jersey, Michigan, Maryland, Ohio. Gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. All right, now joining us, hometown, another hometown hero, right?
Ton of them.
I love it. From South Philadelphia, grew up in the shadows of Lincoln Financial Field, which was the vet back then. Now to the NFL Network, covering the league. He is, of course, our buddy, Mike Garafolo. Mikey!
Morning, cuz. We're back.
We're back. How was your trip home?
Just parked. So just got here this morning. When I do the night game, it's like I have my stuff and I'll tell my parents, you know, I'm either going to drop by or I'll let you know. And then once Jalen spit in Dak's face, I go, okay, it's gonna be a long post game. So I said, I'll probably stay in. And then once they announced the weather delay, I go, I'm definitely staying at this point. So crashed, but I had to get up here as soon as possible. So like a lot of folks in Philly, not a lot of sleep last night, but a well-earned W for the Eagles and the fans, and a well-earned night of covering a bunch of. It was Loogie Gate after the game.
It was a Seinfeld episode last night.
Yeah.
Let's get right to it. Do you expect a suspension? I know there's no history of it. The only thing that concerns me is that it happened in front of the whole world, right? The opening night, and you know, when it comes to the look and. They've done a lot with, you know, showing respect to your opponents. Do you expect a suspension?
I would lean toward no here based on
good.
I mean, nobody said for sure either way. I would lean toward no because he already sort of served the suspension. You know, I mentioned that and I had a couple of replies saying, well, yeah, but he was paid for last night. Yeah, that's where the fine comes in, right? So he lost the game, then he'll lose the game check. I think it was I saw him after the game. Big Dom pulled Drew Rosenhaus, his agent, and his family, and said, "Hey, come with me." And they went in that back area. You know, there's a way for the players to get out away from the media. And I thought he's about to leave without talking to the media. I thought that's a bad move. And he came right back after that, and he went in there, and I think he said all the right stuff. I believe that's a part of it. You know, he said he made a mistake. It won't happen again. And he was asked, you know, were you too wired basically, and was it your emotions? He said, no, I was really calm. And he was, talking to Dak about it, and there seemed to have been not a miss. I mean, look, what Dak did, there's no question Dak was egging him on. And Dak's response of, well, I guess I had to spit, and I didn't want to spit on my lineman, so I spit out in front. You saw the reaction. You knew what you were doing, right? And that'll be.
I kind of took it the other way. I know Jalen pretty well, and in the sense of if there's a room and people are laughing, he may take it like you're laughing at me.
Oh yeah.
And
yeah.
My man's he had a rough upbringing, right? So he's got his demons, and there's a switch. It's what makes him great. It's what makes him ferocious and fearsome, that switch. And, he blacks out. Like, he won't even remember certain times the other things.
Yeah, that's why I thought he was going to say, like, but he said, no, I was calm. I was loving. And, he may just be saying that because he doesn't want to put on that, like, oh, I can't control myself out
Right,
there, because
right.
there's been some moments before.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right. I have heard that about him before, that a lot of times he'll take things personally, that people may be joking with him or whatnot. So we're in lockstep on that. And he made a mistake. I did dumb stuff. I'm still doing dumb stuff. I tell my wife this all the time. I said I did dumb stuff till I was about 26,
Right.
which is about the time I met her, which makes sense. And I had a great upbringing, and
Well,
I wasn't making millions.
your parents
and I
were
wasn't in the
fantastic.
spotlight.
Yeah.
So to ask these guys to, behave the way that the rest of us would, a lot of times is you're asking too much, right? Now, what you want to see is a guy, as he gets on in his career, make fewer of these mistakes,
Right.
and learn from them.
Right.
And maybe that was the biggest or one of the big learning experiences of his career. He knows he let him down. He also said that, he was watching the game on TV, and during halftime and the delay was trying to, hey, here's what I'm seeing. So he was still trying to contribute while he was back there in the locker room. I give him credit for that.
And to your point,
and you hope that he comes
made
out if you're the Eagles.
A great point you made, which is because it happened right before the first defensive snap, he lost the whole game. So
yeah, he did.
Yeah. Like your time served is the best argument. I love that point.
Yeah, but I don't want to. Yes, and I got to be careful about this, because it's different. Sometimes when a guy is either in jail or he was on the commissioner's exempt list.
Yeah.
The NFL will, and that's a totally different thing. Like that's a legal off the field type thing. But the NFL will take that into account. So you got to figure, in this case, they take that into account again. That's why I'm leaning no. If it had happened on the last play of the game, maybe a little bit different, right? Maybe if it happened in overtime, something like that, maybe a little bit different. Now, you talk about the history of it. I went back and looked at fines. Terrell Owens got fined $35,000 for spitting. Max Crosby, I think it was like 20,000. Somebody else got 6. I saw the fines have been all over the place, and I understand that it changes with regard to the CBA and how it's considered. So I would expect this to be a hefty fine,
right?
If no suspension, a hefty fine. Maybe the biggest that we've seen, again, because of the spotlight and because there was that slow motion of the loogie flying. So I think it's a hefty fine. I'll still lean no suspension.
It is funny, man. It's talk about life imitating art. It's a Seinfeld episode.
Former Phillies reliever Roger McDowell, a big part of that. So
and the loogie took a left.
So my wife had never seen Seinfeld. So recently I said, you got to watch it start to finish. And the early episodes are slow. They're still trying to find the rhythm, the quality of the picture. So it's a lot of times it's tough. So I said, you got to hang in there because it gets better. And once we got to around that episode, it really hit its stride. And she's now laughing out loud. And she's like, oh, this show is amazing. Yeah, it was a phenomenon.
Oh, that's funny. All right. So let's look big picture, other stuff that it was a star-studded event. Michael Jordan, Boys to Men, everybody in the house. It was Raise the Banner. What was your things that stood out for your night last night?
So after their soundcheck, Boys to Men walked by our set there, and I wish I got time to take a picture. I was getting ready for my next hit, and I was caught off guard. But Nathan Morris of Boys to Men, a big Insiders fan with the NFL Network, I was like taken aback by that, and he's saying, if you tell me the information, can I now be the guy that I said, yeah, sure. You're welcome on the Insiders anytime. Guest host on the Insiders. It was, it's always, especially for this team this year and how much they talked about moving forward, to have all that stuff when you're trying to ignore it and Jalen not wearing the ring and all that stuff. Sometimes it might be hard to turn the page, but the way the game started with Van Sumeren, which I don't even know. I mean, that became like an afterthought, his injury on the opening kickoff.
Yeah.
I hope the kid's okay. It didn't sound great from what I heard.
I think it's an ACL. I think it's bad.
It sounds. The way that he was, and you could read his lips. By the way, I felt bad for the kid. The opening kickoff after you work so hard.
I know.
So for that to happen, and then while that's happening on the ground, your best defensive player gets ejected. that's a tough thing to when Dallas went down and scored. I honestly was like, Cowboys are going to win this game. I really had that feeling inside of me. And then when they scored again and answered the Eagles, it's like, wow, the Cowboys came ready to play. And I give Schottenheimer credit. I think a lot of people were down on this hire because it's like, well, they're hiring somebody that nobody else was clamoring to hire. Guys, that's not the indicator of anything. And honestly, I said this repeatedly. Brian Schottenheimer's much more prepared to be a head coach now than when he was a hot head coaching candidate 15 years ago. So I thought he really came and really had them ready to play. So if you're the Cowboys, America's team and Jerry Jones, moral victories, really, right? But that's kind of where they are, especially after trading Micah. So from that standpoint, I thought the Cowboys had something to build on. And the Eagles are sitting there going, boy, thank God we're 1-0 because we did not play our best game last night on either side of the ball. Offensively, Jalen made things happen on those scrambles, and you go, well, the play didn't work as kind of we drew it up and designed. He bailed them out a number of times with that. So you go back to the drawing board, especially with, a bunch of guys banged up, including Landon Dickerson, who had to leave to get x-rays on his back there. So I think you're happy you got a couple of days off. You got a lot to work on here but that's week one football, man. It's amazing how
exactly like especially this group that doesn't play at all in the preseason. So, I mean, you got to take September and you got to grade it on a curve just to get in the rhythm offensively. There's so many factors there. And I think the way, the Cowboys played you, I think, they made it a point to kind of take away AJ, outside the numbers. I think they made a point. And I thought Jalen was masterful last night in playing the point guard. Like he's like Magic Johnson. That's kind of how I look at him, man. Where whatever you need me to do, right? And he's got such great vision as a runner. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, and I think you come away from that game saying as bad as things went on a number of levels, we won the game. Like that's the mentality, and that's the makeup of a champion. That's the kind of stuff that you need. So I think you come away feeling really good about that part of things. And then again, you get the extra time, you get rolling, you get. Belichick used to use. I hate to invoke Belichick right about now because it's not looking so great, but he used to use that first quarter of the season to find out who we are, what's our identity, what kind of team are we? And I feel like the Eagles in a lot of ways are that because of so many changes with losing guys and bringing different guys in on both sides of the ball.
Yeah, Andy did the same thing. Andy's teams historically, I mean, he'd be 1-2, and then they would always go on a roll. He's always like, dude, it's always about November and December. Like you just want to arc. They're like great jockeys, right? Like arcing to get playing your best football. When you look at Barkley, the thing that shocked me was how well. Now I know losing Dickerson was a big deal, but they really shut down, especially that inside run. They shut Saquon down after the delay.
Yeah, I think that messed with their rhythm. They said it didn't. Both sides said it didn't. But when you have that in the middle of the game and you've got to reset and, not only do you lose that edge mentally, you lose that edge physically as well. You try to get loose during that period, but it's so hard because you've got, when you're warming up for a game, you've got two warm-ups. Most guys have two warm-ups. Right. You come out, you warm up, no uniform. You go back, you get dressed, you warm up again. Like there's a whole rhythm to it. And to lose that rhythm and have to restart it in the middle of the game, that's a tough thing for guys. And I think it hurt guys on both sides of the ball. CD Lamb might tell you this morning that it hurt him and his ability to make some plays late in the game. I had somebody this morning ask me and said, do you feel like that game is on CD? I was like, he was so good early on to put them in a position to be in the game. Right? It's kind of hard to say that it's on him, but I do think that part and that game. Listen, the last time the Eagles were in the game, it was delayed before kickoff. Last year was delayed. I covered a game between the Broncos and the Ravens that was delayed. So it's a common occurrence for this week one Thursday opener to be delayed by weather in some form or fashion.
Yeah. No, you're right about that. It's interesting when you're looking at the big picture, particularly of whether it's disjointed, not, and the whole thing. The week one opener is always weird. Even for the Eagles, it's like Pat McClune said this yesterday. Our buddy Pat McClune was like, I got a feeling it's going to be weird. And we were going through openers of the past, and They're odd scores or odd happenings. And I just think that's the nature of the sport.
You can also see it. It's a tangible thing. Like go back to the Rams playoff game, right? And how well played of a game. I mean, there were fumbles and mistakes and stuff like that, but you can see the quality of play. It's a tangible thing that you can see that doesn't exist in week one. And that's the beauty of it, right? Like you come away and you go, there's going to be week one overreactions. We watched that game last night. It was so fun in a lot of ways, but you know the quality of the game is going to be so much better the next time these teams face each other and as we get closer to the playoffs. That's what you love about the season. That's what evolves with the season. And that's why we love the beautiful sport, and I'm so happy it's back.
Yeah, baby. Yeah. It was funny last night during the delay. Diggs was really hungry. Like a lot of those guys got hungry. Yeah. Right. So he's poking around the streets.
So I see Melissa Stark before the game, my former colleague at the NFL Network, and I told her, I said, listen, this game has a tendency to be delayed. I said, so you better, and we were looking at the weather. I said, so you better be ready to report on the delay. Man, was she ready to report on the delay. That was fantastic. The other thing, they were trying to find Micah Parsons' mother because I had reported that she was in the house wearing Cowboys gear. Wow. She was, yeah, you didn't see that?
Wow, she was wearing Cowboys gear, really?
Sharice Parsons was in the house last night. She was wearing she was not wearing the Micah's jersey. She was wearing a blue, the middle was blue, the sleeves were white, Cowboys shirt. And she was hanging out at the tailgate where a bunch of people saw her, and they told me she's here, what she's wearing. I said, don't take a picture. I don't want to, don't worry about that part. But, I trusted my eyewitnesses. And she was in the house. I kind of weird, right?
Yeah, I would think. In fact, if you told me she was at the game, I'd go, all right, but she's probably wearing an Eagles shirt.
Yeah, to rub it in, right? Yeah. No, she was wearing. She loves Jerry. I don't know. I don't want to speak for her. I would have loved to have had a chance to talk to her and interview her, but she enjoyed the Cowboy experience. I'm sure she's disappointed her son's not there anymore. But I gather that she's saying he's happy, he's ready to go in Green Bay. The back thing is not going to be something that's going to keep him off the field, maybe limit him a little bit. But yeah, she was in the house wearing Cowboys gear. How about that?
That's a great get by you, man. That's wild. Hey, while we got you, let's go through the league a little bit. Tonight. Great game, Chiefs Chargers, the Brazil game. The only thing is like, it's like my boy, our boy texted me this morning. He's like, "Yeah, you got to travel 60 hours, right, to play. I know. You know, all this time to play a football game. Like it's a lot.
That's why I just have a hard time. Are they ever going to put a division in Europe, like a Germany, England? How, man? Like how? You got to suppose you're the Eagles. Now it's a Thursday game. Suppose you're the Eagles. You got the fullback got hurt. Your guard got hurt. A couple other guys were banged up last night. You got to get a replacement ready for Sunday. Where and when is that happening? Yeah. You got to get a guy from the United States to fly over, work out a bunch of them, make the signing. I mean, there's been talk of like maybe you have a facility on the East Coast of the United States that you can do a lot of that stuff there. But then where's your personnel people aren't? I mean, it's just so.
Yeah, it's tough.
I get it. I get it. They're growing the game. They're doing a great job of it. There's no doubt about that. Flag football in the Olympics is going to help that as well. But it's like, to have to go through all that and then play a game. I don't know if it's better or worse that it's in the opener. I mean, I guess it's better because you're not disrupting the previous week's schedule or you're not coming off of a game, so it gives you a chance. But I know a lot of guys are like, we're going all the way here to just play a football game. It's the price that you pay for a sport that's trying to go.
One about London and Europe, right? But Brazil is tough, man. It's like another world.
The Eagles and Packers folks talked about some of the stuff that they drove past.
Yeah.
To get to the stadium or where they were going for their walkthrough or their practice, and like really eye-opening to some of the places there that are not so great. It's like this is a weird thing to be driving by. So I mean it's it's part of the NFL experience these days. And I thought the game last year, although I fell asleep in the middle of it, and I guarantee I'm not going to make the entire game tonight. I'm going to try my best though. I thought the game last night, the quality of the game was, or last year was really good, and I'm hoping for that tonight.
What do you think of the Chiefs? Are they back?
Where'd they go?
Well, no,
in the
it's that
Super Bowl
O-line.
last year.
I should say, well, you know, like they play close. They're great, right? But they play close games.
Yeah.
They looked more vulnerable than the past. Their O-line they had to redo it. So my question is that O-line fixed, do you think? And is it this renewed? Because it feels like, talking to some people around there, it feels like there's like this renewed, like, hey, man, we want to come back at it.
Well, what you're going to see is an offense, if all goes according to plan, an offense that we haven't seen since maybe they had Tyreek Hill, because they feel really good about these receivers and they feel like they've got dynamic down the field players. Now, you're not going to have Rashee Rice for 6 weeks, which in the last couple of years, that would have been an enormous blow to this. And they have lost him, and it was a big blow to the team. Now it's like, we can survive with this group. We can thrive with this group for 6 weeks. Xavier Worthy's got more experience. Hollywood Brown as well. Juju Smith-Schuster's got experience to draw upon, obviously. Tyquan Thornton, another guy that had a big summer for them. So they feel really good about the depth of the receiving core and that they can play these guys in a number of different spots. So that helps them basically, again, get through these 6 weeks. And then you add Rice to the mix, which should only help things. I think you're going to see an aggressive. I think Mahomes wants to remind people what he's all about as far as an MVP conversation, while also helping the team win. And from what I gather, Travis Kelce's motivated to show people that he's got a lot left in the tank and does not want to go out the way he did in the Super Bowl. So we'll see.
So Sunday, who are some really good matchups on Sunday as well? Who are you looking forward to watching?
You want to know one of my favorite games that I can't wait to see for a number of reasons? Jaguars-Panthers.
Yeah,
I'm fired up for that game. I think that's going to be a really cool one. You know, because you got the Travis Hunter playing both ways, Liam Cohen kick-starting that thing.
I'm dying to see Lawrence. I can't believe that Lawrence is a bust. I gotta believe that he can get at some point rescued.
Yeah. I was talking to somebody who was in Jacksonville in recent years as part of the staff there, and they said, you know, he just makes some bad decisions at key points. He had a game against the Titans where they were trying to get in the playoffs in Week 18 2 years ago, I think it was, where he just called a sneak by himself and tried to jump over people and just didn't get there. And they were like, dude, we had a play called that would have worked perfectly fine. Just stick with it. He, even in the preseason this year, he's going down. Somebody steps in his foot, and he still tries to hand the ball off, and it was a fumble. And it's like, dude, just go down. Take a 3-yard loss in the preseason. What are you doing? Why are you trying to play hero ball? So he does that from time to time. Liam Cohen's got to make sure that he doesn't do that. I think that's the biggest thing for them. And on the other side, I think people might be sleeping on this Panthers team. I think they might be a little bit better than people think. I mean, down the stretch last year, they played like 3 or 4 overtime games. They had a couple of close losses, one to the Chiefs. They won some games. They went like 3 and 4 down the stretch, and all but one loss, I think, was really close. So they feel like they have turned a corner in a lot of ways with Bryce Young, with this team. And Dave Canales, I think, might be a really good emerging head coach. I'm really fired up for the Panthers. I will, though, be covering Steelers Jets at MetLife Stadium, which is going to be me.
Oh, great!
Which is going to be me for 5 hours just talking quarterbacks. I'm like, great, that's an easy assignment, no problem. I don't have to worry about talking anything other than that because that's all they're going to want with that game. So excited to see that one. I don't, you know, I know that the Steelers are not being shy about talking Super Bowl. I got a hard time seeing it. I don't know if I know we've seen the best of Rodgers. Does he have enough left in the tank? And is that a good marriage between him and Arthur Smith with that offense? We shall see. As for the Jets, I like Justin Fields. I like Justin Fields as a person, as a player. I just can't see him leading them anywhere close to the playoffs. And then that might be part of the overall plan. It's like, you know, let's set a culture here. Let's try to win some games, but let's also set ourselves up for the future as well. So my poor Jet fan friends who just want. I said to my friend when they signed Rodgers, I'm like, you know, is it Super Bowl or bust for you? He's like, dude, I just want a home playoff game. I want to be able to go to MetLife Stadium. And it's not my favorite stat because I hate it because I don't root for the teams, but I like the teams in my market where I live to be relevant, and they haven't been. In the history of MetLife Stadium, which opened in 2010, so we're talking about 32 seasons or how many? No, it's not 32. It's 28 seasons between the two teams. There's been 2 playoff games in the history of MetLife Stadium, and one of them was the Super Bowl in which the Jets or Giants didn't play. So 1 home playoff game since 2010 for both of these teams combined.
Oh,
it is almost unthinkable.
That's brutal. God.
Yeah.
Oh, that's brutal. Hey, real quick, Lions Packers though. That's the Lions Packers and Ravens Bills are ridiculous. Like I can't wait to watch the Packers. I think of all the teams, I think they're the Eagles' biggest threat in the NFC. I believe in love.
I believe in love too, Ant. That's beautiful. Yeah, no, they're a really good team. I think they're incredibly well coached. I love Matt LaFleur.
Yeah.
Honestly, but I'll tell you what, that division, I would say the NFC North and the NFC West are the 2 divisions where you could tell me any of the 4 teams could win the division, and I believe you. I think that's going to be a really, really tough division in the NFC North. I think Chicago's going to come flying out of the gate in the Ben Johnson era. I think they got a lot of talent, and I think he's really incredible at what he does. I think he's going to be a great help for Caleb. I was talking up the Niners coming into the season. I'm a little worried about this McCaffrey thing that just they're sort of banged up. The guys that are banged up are not like Ayuk came in banged up. Now you got McCaffrey getting hurt. I don't know how much we're going to see from Ayuk this year, honestly, period. We shall see.
Yeah.
And they're also young on defense.
Yeah.
They're young on defense. It's going to have to be this rookie class, which I know Saleh feels good about, but they're going to have to get better and learn as the season goes on.
Yeah. All right, my brother, a great start.
We could have gone for another half hour at least, man. There's so much going on. This is going to be a fun year in the NFL.
I would be like, let's keep going. So
I know. You got to get Baldy in. I mean, you should have seen him shot out of the gate yesterday. He was dressed to the nines. He looked awesome. He sounded awesome. He's the best.
He is. He's the greatest. We love you, buddy. Thanks, brother. We'll talk to you next week. All right, kiss the girls.
Can't wait, Ant. Thank you, buddy.
See you, buddy.
Yep.
There he is from the NFL Network, our man, Mike Garafolo. All right, coming up, we get our Rothman injury report. All right, we'll take care of some business before that, and then we'll got Baldy, and then the brain. So still a lot. We're going to go into a hefty overtime. You want to talk a little Ace is the place?
I'd love to. Ace Hardware Home Services, helping people like me who are not really talented doing things around the house. You're probably like me. Most of us are. So if you got an outlet you said you fixed last fall, Ace Hardware Home Services, they got people that'll help you out, because now they're not just the helpful home hardware folks. They're also the helpful home service and repair folks. So from plumbing to electrical to heating and cooling, they got trusted pros that'll help keep your house humming all year long. Ace Hardware Home Services, they're bringing the helpful home, the helpful you love from the store, now to your very own front door. And from Philly, they go all the way down to the Jersey Shore. At Ace Hardware Home Services, they bring experience. They got local plumbers and techs that handle everything from repairs and seasonal maintenance, and they even do installations and upgrades. They bring understandings. They'll listen to your goals and jobs never done till you're totally satisfied. It gives you some time to, do what you love. They give you free estimates on equipment installation and replacement.
For you, it's drinking beers.
Yeah, I need more beer drinking time. Thanks for the Ace Hardware Home Service, people. And even if you just want an estimate on some installations or replace some appliances, they'll help you out. They'll give you options that are best suited for your home and your budget. Ace Hardware Home Services, they're local. They're Eagles fans. They live amongst us. They serve their community, and they're dedicated to keeping their neighbors and fellow Eagle fans comfortable in their own homes. So visit Ace Hardware Home Services online at acehardwarehomeservices.com. Get started on that next project.
Yeah, it's the best. Hey, BetPark Sportsbook online casino app, football, live bet the games while you watch, right? College, pro, you name it. BetPark's the only sportsbook app that we will recommend downloading. Here's a new offer for you. If you're a new customer, get up to $50 back on your first sports bet if it doesn't win. Plus, you'll get a BetParks bonus box with 50 BetParks coins and 50 bonus spins. You're a slot spinner.
Love
You and
bonus
Tooch.
spins.
Tooch likes the slots.
Today's a big tennis game too. I mean, if you want to do a little U.S. Open,
Oh, yeah?
Djokovic and Alcaraz going at it this afternoon.
Tooch was telling me about his tennis too.
Tennis is fun right now.
Yeah. I just don't have enough time.
U.S. Open.
Yeah, I know. It's great sport.
It is, yeah.
I haven't had it's. I mean, between baseball. By the way, great win yesterday for the Fightins. Take 2 or 3 from Milwaukee. So you can bet baseball, football, you name it. Bet it all right here on the Bet Park Sportsbook and app. It's the best. The golf, you got Saturday morning soccer, MMA. Bet more than score. All the props you want. Player touchdowns, SGPs. It's all there. Visit betparks.com for full terms and conditions. All right. All season long, be right here on the Bet Park Sportsbook online casino app. Got to be 21, located in PA, New Jersey. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Now, let's go to our Friday doctor. We love our Rothman Orthopedics. Who are doing God's work in getting us back to doing what we love, getting us back into motion. So it's our Friday injury report. We have Dr. Steven Stash with us. Good morning, Doc. How are you?
Good morning, gentlemen.
Good to see you again. Thank you for visiting. We appreciate that. Let's go over some of this stuff. Now, we know you're not caring for the players, so we pick your expert brain. Yeah. So, Doc, the opening kickoff, Van Sumeren goes down. It looked like an ACL. Kind of a scary kind of moment. Such a shame, man. Yeah. And you being such a sports guy, like I know your heart goes out to these athletes, and especially a kid that worked this hard, was a linebacker, now comes as a fullback, and you lose your whole season, basically.
Yeah, I take it to heart as a former fullback myself. So, it's really a shame to see.
I knew we loved you for a reason. I didn't know you were a fullback. That's fantastic.
But I mean, it's a lot of speculation. It's hard, but when you see a guy go down and he's grabbing his knee, it always makes you a little nervous. And it's one of those you got to go when you get taken off in such an abrupt manner. But then we all get sidelined by the spitting event. So
right.
That's really, and it's all gone.
You're right. I know. I felt bad for him because we went from like, oh, that's awful. And then all of a sudden the loogie happens and it's like, wow. Yeah. And that's all we talked about until the game resumed. Crazy stuff last night. And then, Landon Dickerson, who has been such a beast, kind of gets rolled up his back. Ooh. And man, it's tough.
Poor guy got his knees, got his back, limping around in the playoffs last year. Tough guy. Back injuries are tricky. They can be severe. I don't know if you've ever had sciatica. You get patients come in the office saying like, "Cut my leg off. Like this is horrible. I can't live this way." I can spot them in the waiting room when they're hurting so bad. But football players are also at risk for stress fractures in the back. That's another one that you kind of got to be aware of. So there's a little bit of a dynamic here, but herniated discs are probably one of the most common that we see in not only athletes, but the lay population. Discs are the shock absorbing pad between the vertebrae, and they're kind of like a jelly donut. It's a really good metaphor because it's a firm outside and a soft, squishy inside. And so when you get a herniated disc, that jelly shoots out and starts irritating nerves, and that's where it can start to radiate down the leg. Tends to be one of those ones that you don't want to sit on. So if you ever get symptoms, like you probably want to get in sooner rather than later. No. But these guys that are playing and they get access to good resources and it's always nice to take care of a tough guy like Landon Dickerson because they want to get back and play. So you see the motivation in those types of guys.
Yeah, is it? You almost need to kind of steal a week or two of just rest for him or just recovery.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I gotta say it's a delicate balance because sometimes people like totally retreat, and when they shut it down, it doesn't go well. There's a happy medium where you want to be engaged and active, and you got to still use your core. Because if you don't, it just delays the process of healing. So I tell patients a lot of times, you just got to find a way through the weeds. You got to figure out, like, can I move and walk and stretch? Because if you can, and you're keeping things active and you're taking the pressure off of that area. But just laying in bed, I can tell you, is not a good option.
Yeah. It's so interesting. When you brought up the sciatica, I was just curious, why does it come and go? Like there'll be moments where you go, oh my God, it's the worst pain ever, and it lasts a week or whatever, and then you'd be good for 6 months before it comes back again.
Yeah, nerves are tricky. I kind of always say it's like a light switch, right? Like when you switch it off, there's still electricity flowing. It's just not going to the light, right? But when you switch it on, boom, there it goes. And so like you move the wrong way, nerve gets a little irritated, bang, you're feeling it. You move the other way and it's not that bad. And so you're doing okay. It can be very dependent. And then, the classic, like you feel bad for a day and then you sneeze the wrong way and then bang, here it comes again.
Yeah, it's the truth. When you as a doctor and a football player, you could talk to this a lot. So you have halftime, they go on and play almost 10 minutes, and then there's a weather delay, significant, an hour. So what does that do to a football player having to go through halftime, come back, and then sitting again for an hour?
That's the worst. And like, it just totally derails all the momentum, not only from the gameplay, but also from your body. Like, and these guys on the professional level, like they have a system, they have means of which they treat their body. Like it is very, very regimented. And so it's really hard. Shut me down. I was out, not watching the game for that long. It's like, forget it. I can't stay up and then come back and see patients all day. It's almost like you got to re-engage your mind. You got to re-engage your body, get that mental headspace going again. Really, really tough. You hate to see it happen. It's bad for the fans. It's bad for the TV. It's bad all around, but you can't change the weather.
Yeah, I know. Isn't it great to have it back, Doc?
It's always good to be here, guys.
Right? And isn't it great to have football? You're such a sports guy, so
it's hard to believe that it's back already. It's just like, wow, just like summer's over, football.
I know. It's the only saving grace as the summer ends, right? But football is the gift at the end of it. So
exactly.
We'll take it. Doc, thank you so much, man. We love always having you. You're terrific. We love everybody over at Rothman. Thanks, buddy.
Have a great weekend.
You too, pal. Dr. Steven Stash, who's always great, and all of our Rothman doctors are fantastic.
I'm doing my stretches now. I mean, a little tingling this week going on with that sciatica.
Oh, yeah, dude. Listen to Doc.
Gotta do the stretches.
Come on, Glenn from Wallingford. Listen to Doc, all right? I see you over there, man. Our buddy Glenn came over. I love him.
I love people sitting
Temple Tough, my boy. All right. He's about to come shortly. All right, we will get him.
I was looking back at the spitting. 1997, Bill Romanowski spits in J.J. Stokes' face.
Oh, J.J. Stokes from the Niners?
No suspension. Fined $7,500 and got a strongly worded letter.
Well, he was out of his mind. You remember the concoction of pills that he was on?
Yeah.
Like meds?
Yeah, he was a total head case.
Oh, my God. He had all kinds of pharmacy. He was walking pharma.
Yeah.
He spelled football with a PH. My God. Are you kidding me?
Can I add something while we're waiting for Baldy?
Yeah,
So we're doing this new thing here at PHLY. It's called the Supporters Club. It's actually really cool, and it's all geared towards YouTube. You can get a badge next to your name in chat that shows you how long you've been a supporter to the PHLY channel. So if you've been a supporter for a month, 2 months, 6 months, a year, you get a specific unique badge that goes next to your name, and all you need to do is pay $5 a month. If you pay $5 a month, you become a supporter, and you get into the Supporters Club, and you get access to all these cool emojis that we're going to be bringing out, the badge, so many really cool things and unique stuff that we're going to be having here just for $5 a month.
All right, nice.
I love that
Supporters
Club. Yeah. I absolutely love it. That's a great idea.
Really cool.
That's unbelievable.
Hey, also, we haven't mentioned that Zach Bond play where he chases down Miles Sanders.
Yeah.
They're saying he reached 20 miles per hour.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Dude, he's such a great player. My God.
That's a game-saving tackle.
Him and Campbell together?
Yeah.
My God. Having linebackers? Are you kidding like this? Come on, man. This is unbelievable. All right. Time now for Baldy's Big Hits, presented by Ford. There was a star-studded event last night, but the biggest star of them all, not Boys to Men, not Bradley Cooper, not anybody else, but it's the one, the only on the Xfinity guest line, Baldy.
Baldy, Baldy. Oh, let's talk some football. Baldy, Baldy. Oh, he likes meats and football.
Oh, Baldy. Yeah, there he is. What's up, superstar?
Hey, morning.
Looking
Morning,
great
cuz.
last
How you guys
night.
doing, man? You guys stay up for all that last night?
What, are you kidding me?
I took a nap.
I mean,
I saw a lot of people kind of checked out, man.
you think I would check out?
I'm not making any accusations. Guys.
I
I'm
mean,
just throwing it
seriously.
out.
He's making
Who
an
texted you?
implication.
Who would
Implication.
text you at 12 o'clock with a Cal UCLA game?
Yeah.
Let
Well,
alone
I mean,
Eagles. So you nuts. But you were, listen, it was star-studded last night, and there you were front and center, my man. All right?
Yeah.
Looking sharp. You got a new suit.
yeah. No, I had fun, man. I was there from 4 o'clock yesterday till midnight, and then stayed in and started watching some highlights till about 1:30 in the morning to let the traffic go, and then got home about 2:30 and was in here like around 7 this morning. So it's been a good full day here so far.
All right, so let's get to the order of business. First, overall, like, what were your thoughts that popped out from the game?
Well, I mean, the Eagles, I mean, from the opening penalty on, Jalen Carter, however that thing goes down. I mean, they just gave him 6 first downs. They just gave him a lot of, I don't know, the Quinyon Mitchell pass interference call is just real questionable to me. I mean, the side judge is right there. He doesn't throw the flag, but the back judge by the goalpost throws the flag. Allows the Cowboys to go down to the opening drive and score. I mean, they got him 3rd and 20, so like they just gave him some first downs. So that's that. But Dallas played well. They played very, very well last night. And Jalen still has Jalen issues. I mean, you want to blitz Jalen, he ain't going to see it. He ain't going to throw hot. He's going to hold it. And once the Cowboys started blitzing in that third quarter, I mean, that's how they got the sack. That's how they got some throwaways. They got off the field. I mean, I just thought that Eberflus waited way too long to start sending pressure at Jalen because he didn't handle it well. And that's been an issue with him. And, I mean, Dak sees a blitz, he throws hot. He just sees it. And thank God CD had a case of the drops last night. Otherwise, the Eagles don't win that game.
Wow. What did you see from AJ? Was he missing? Was he not picking up?
Well, I mean, look, the first blitz they have, I mean, AJ sees it. Deron Bland comes off the slot, and AJ sees it. He's waiting on the ball. It should be put right. I mean, whoever, I don't want to pretend like I know what Kevin Petullo is teaching, but most guys, the receiver turns around, he sees it, throw him the ball, let him go get the first down. And Jalen's like looking at the rush, and they blow the protection in addition. So that's maybe why Jalen took his eyes off it. But the Eagles have to figure out blitz protection, because what else is Spags going to do next week? But see these same things.
Yeah.
They're going to get a real dose of it next week.
Yeah, that's something for sure.
But AJ had, he had chance. Like, Jalen's just not throwing the ball. Like, they played quarter coverage. They sat in these zones last night. And, I mean, can you throw the ball to AJ on a curl in front of the safety of the corner? Yeah, absolutely. But it's got to be done with anticipation and timing. You got to drill it. It's there to be made. And Jalen decided not to throw it. And look, he didn't turn the ball over. He leading rusher. He ran for 2 touchdowns. It's hard to argue. They get the W. But at the same time, some of the issues of him holding the ball are legitimate issues. Same things we saw a year ago.
it's almost like he doesn't trust it. I guess. Like,
I don't know if it's trust, cuz I mean, I understand what you're saying, and that might be the word. But he's just not going to take any chances.
Right.
Especially in a tight game where look, the Cowboys played great coverage. Like, they didn't really break down. They just didn't really account for Jalen and some of those touchdown runs. They were taking away the receivers, which
right. If you're going to take away Devontae and AJ,
I mean, they spent more time taking the receivers away. So Jalen said, "Okay, fine. You want to do that? You don't want to have disciplined rush lanes and Dante Fowler wants to come inside and Lane washes them up. Jalen he'll take the gift, and he did last night.
I mean, that's kind of why he played. Like, I think he played well as the point guard, right? Like, which is, look, I'm not going to turn the ball over. I'm going to do something positive. Whatever that team, if I got to be able to, if I can move, he's such a great runner, I'll do that. Or, I thought I wanted him to take a couple more deep shots. I didn't know if you saw, because listen, he makes that throw all day long. Like, it was a great throw to Dotson.
Yeah, great throw. The 50 yards right on the money.
Yeah.
Can't make it can't throw it any better than that. It's a perfect throw. The coverage wasn't terrible at all. The throw beat the coverage. But, it's the only shot they took down the field all night.
Yeah.
Hey, Baldy, how do they keep the wide receivers in check and then also like keep Barkley to 3.3 yards a carry? It seemed like they were able to kind of contain him as well.
Yeah, they did. I mean, the last 7 runs of Saquon in that fourth quarter, he gained 1 yard. They played the best run defense I've seen them play in years. Kenny Clark, Odigizua, Sam Williams. I mean, the whole group played really well. They played a lot of 3 linebacker sets last night. Sanborn, they were attacking the line of scrimmage. They didn't get a lot of creases. They got a couple early in the game, but they didn't get any creases in the fourth quarter. And so, they literally sat in quarters coverage and pressed the line of scrimmage and didn't let anything get over their head.
But, off of that, they had a little success running outside, and they ran everything inside in the second half. And, Dickerson's done, he goes down, which is a huge loss for them. I was surprised that they didn't try to bounce it outside a little bit more and try to run that way because, like, they had success doing that. There's that one pitch on a misdirection that worked. There's a couple of, outside that I thought you get Barkley in space where he makes one guy miss. That's what I want.
He did that early. The pitch is that play was invented by Marshall Faulk and the Rams back in those days, and that's good for one play. It's a misdirection play.
I get it. Yeah,
going and flip it. So, but they didn't really try to execute outside zones, against that look. Most of the stuff was inside. Their power game didn't work. They didn't really get much movement. And so, credit Dallas. They sat in those 4-man fronts and really took on their double teams and squeezed it and weren't getting blown off the ball. I mean, very little. And so there wasn't a whole lot of movement up front.
Yeah. Now, what did you see defensively? Obviously, you lose Carter, right? So you lose your best player. It affects everything. It affects, Nolan and Hunt, and it's going to affect that whole line of scrimmage. Jordan Davis played his, I think, second highest snap count, like 55.
Played a lot last night. Yeah. Played a lot. He played better. I mean, he looked like Jordan Davis on that 49-yard run by Miles Sanders. I mean, he's walking on the field and he gets blown off the ball by Tyler Smith. I mean, it was ugly, but to his credit, he played a lot of snaps last night. He had a chance for a sack, beat the center BB cleanly and had Dak wrapped up. Could have been, a big play for him. He had a chance for a couple big plays in there. It was encouraging to see him play the volume of plays that he had, but he had to, with Jalen. Usually Jalen was playing 90% of the snaps and taking all the double teams. And to see them, play well overall up front without Jalen is probably, something, because they had never done that before in the 3 years of Jalen or 2 years Jalen's been there. So that was encouraging last night to see him play without him. And, that's Byron Young and Moro Ojomo and, the guys that were there. Ty Robinson was down. So they only had 4 tackles up and they lost, their best player, before the game started.
Yeah, I was surprised Ty Robinson was down.
Yeah, I was too, but it's a numbers game. They had Uche up. and he played pretty well at times. They got a couple good rushes out of their guys, but nothing, um, nothing where they were just getting quick escapes, and getting quick pressure on Dak.
How about Jihaad Campbell? How good did he look, man?
Well, they're not going to get him. Anybody that thought that Nakobe Dean was, be the starting linebacker when he gets healthy, that's it's crazy. The guy, look, the play on the tight end down the middle of the scheme. I mean, I don't even know if that's his man. Like, honestly, he just used his speed and he just is looking for work. They got a 2 tight end set. He saves 1 touchdown there, and then the forced fumble changed the whole game. I mean, they're down the 12-yard line and they're probably going to go take the lead. And he gets the ball out right before the lightning struck. And so that's the biggest defensive play of the game outside of Zach Bond saving a touchdown from Miles Sanders on the 49-yard run. I mean, those are 2 great plays by what is going to be a really elite linebacking crew.
You know what makes them so good? Like the middle of the field, right? With those 2 and Cooper and Reed, anything underneath, any check downs, right? Anytime you want to try to run something underneath, they just swarm to the ball. They are so quick to the football that it's such a weapon because it takes away those 4, 5, 6, 7-yard plays.
Yeah. No, they got real speed. And it's not that they run fast. They play fast.
Yeah.
I mean, they really
They
really turn it loose.
Flow to the ball.
And Makuba was really good last night. Really good in run support. He made a lot of good plays out there in the perimeter last night. But Makuba and Campbell, I mean, the first 2 picks, they both showed up a bunch last night.
Yeah, and they made a tackle together too. It was great. It was
Quinyon was outstanding. I mean, the defensive pass interference penalty is a joke, but I mean, he played really well. Really well. The touchdown throw, to George Pickens, he's all over. It's great coverage. Yeah. They had a shot in the end zone in the first half. And, he ran all the way across the field to defend that pass to Jalen Tolbert. I mean, he was on top of his game yesterday. I thought the pass interference on Pickens was a joke.
So what did you see from the other spot with Adoree Jackson?
Well, it looks like an issue. I mean, Adoree wasn't close to CD on a number of occasions. Like it's this year, they threw Jacorian Bennett in there last night to see what he could do. He had a pass interference penalty on CD, but it looks like it's, when Vic Fangio said, nobody's nailed down the position, nobody's nailed down that position. It's up for grabs, and so I thought outside of one play by Adoree where he defended a play over the top of CD, I thought he struggled last night.
Yeah, that's what it felt like. What did you think? Now it's hard to kind of look at them without Carter, but what did you think of Nolan Smith and Jalen Hunt?
Look, I like Nolan Smith, and he does everything right, but the taunting penalty is just stupid.
Right,
like it's a shoestring tackle. You're getting off the tight end block, big whoop. It's a freaking tight end. You should whoop him, and then you stand over him. Like you just won the Super Bowl. Like it's just a stupid penalty. Like there's just no place for it. And it's a good penalty. I mean, you should throw the flag on it. It's taunting. Like it's just so that's not him. Like for whatever made him do that, he hasn't acted like that. But he's really good against the run. He had a couple good rushes last night. Jalen Hunt showed up a little bit, but they didn't get any sort of steady pressure. Now, Dak is really good at getting the ball out fast and making the right read. He was very sharp last night, very sharp. You got to give Dak a credit. But I thought, honestly, the offensive line of the Cowboys played pretty good. Guyton was a real question mark. Just talking to guys that I know in Dallas, down the field before the game, they were holding their breath. But he played really well. Tyler Smith is a stud. Tyler Booker played really good last night, had a number of good blocks. Like, it's a good group up front.
The 3 Tylers, VG.
And I'm not a fan of 3 Tylers.
Let's get to Loogie Gate. And first of all, anybody ever hit you with one?
No. No, that's the nastiest thing you could do to somebody.
Right.
I've done some nasty things. I've done some things that I'm not proud of on the football field.
Right.
In retaliation. All right. I am not even going to tell the story, but
you got the nutcrackers.
No. I mean, but if somebody did that to me, there'd be a fight. It'd be a fight. Like, I'd be thrown out of the game if somebody ever did that to me in real life, on a football field, in any sort of competition. If somebody did that to me,
it's always the lowest piece of it. Yeah,
it's the lowest thing. I mean, throw a punch,
right?
Like, rip somebody's helmet off. Do whatever else. Go for somebody's legs, but don't do that.
Yeah,
like that's the lowest thing you could do. Now, was it retaliation? Like, I mean, NBC was all over it last night from the beginning.
Right.
It came in a little late that maybe Dak instigated it, but regardless, like there's going to be a heavy. Either he's going to get suspended for more games, or there's going to be a heavy fine to pay, because that's NBC, that's national TV, that's the opening game of the night, and that's how we start the game.
Yeah,
like it felt like it was just really cheap all the way around.
Yeah, that's my worry, is that it was opening night. The whole world's watching.
They
right?
can't wait to watch it.
And it's
here
the
we
beginning
are.
of the game.
Well, first of all,
the loogie.
Well, first of all, Van Summeren's on the ground.
Right.
Like, okay, he's on the ground. Like they're just like I think he's done. Like, that was an ugly looking situation. So he's on the ground. They're trying to take care of that. And then these two are jawing, and it's just like, just go play football. Like, there's just no need to even be on that side of the line of scrimmage.
Yeah,
right there by Jalen. Now, your good buddy Big Dom is walking him off the field. I don't know, what the conversation was. He's got to leave the field to play, but they got to address it. Dak's already addressed it after the game. Jalen has to address it. Nick has to address it, because honestly, some of this stuff.
So let me give you a little bit of kind of insight into it. We're in overtime, OT, overtime. YouTube, love Baldy. Listen, the kid, he's got demons, right? Like, and he's got a thing that he blacks out. Like, when things trigger him, and there's a paranoia about him. Like I said, like, if you walk into a room and people are laughing, and he might take it like you're laughing at me, and then he'll have this weird smile, like a sinister grin, and then you better run. And that's kind of what he's, that's.
No, man, look, I mean, there's a fine line there. I mean, I've known a lot of defensive linemen, and some of them all have that same thing where they could snap on anything. And some of the great ones, they had it their whole careers. And so it's a question of, how do you sort of patrol it, but yet let him go off at the same time, because that's what makes him such a beast on the field.
Right.
But it can lead to, like, we've seen some late hits and put some things on the field that, could lead to penalties and suspensions and things like that. So it's part of what he's just wired like that.
Well, that's the point. Like, it's almost the cost of doing business. It's what makes him so great and so fearsome. And, I mean, that's why people are afraid of him, man. Like, he's a scary dude. Like, you don't want him in that realm, but that's what makes him great. Who was the dude from Minnesota who was just a nut? During your era, or a little after?
Not John Randall.
John Randall.
Johnny Randall.
Yeah. He was out of his mind.
Look, a lot of these guys, Sapp, Randy White. I mean, you go through a list of some of these guys, man. Like, they're all Steve McMichael. A lot of these guys, like, are just wired that way. And, it makes them great defensive linemen. It also makes people scared of them.
Right.
The way that, and it could be to anybody. It could be a civilian. It could be a teammate. It could be an opposing player. It could be a coach.
Yeah.
And so
it could be.
Jalen has that thing inside of him. And last night it was an ugly incident. He has not. I don't know if he's addressed anybody so far about it, but I'm sure he's going to have to say something, or Nick is going to have to speak up.
Dom's really good at handling him.
I mean, Dom's.
And Clint Hurt, who is a great defensive line coach. I love Clint Hurt. He's one of these really great coaches. Players love him. And I think between Clint and Dom, they got him to talk to the media. He said the right things. He just owned it, and that's kind of what happened.
Yeah. Yeah. I just hope I just hope that he isn't suspended for the Kansas City game.
Yeah.
Because it's possible. This is going to, I know how the league thinks. They don't want any part of anything like that in any game, but to have it in the opening game of the season, right after the kickoff, we haven't even gotten started.
Yeah.
And it was just, I have a feeling that this thing is going to be pretty heavy.
Yeah. I got the same kind of feeling. Ultimately, what transpired, and you got to agree with the curve, right? No Carter, and it, the first time the offense is played, right? So September is a glorified preseason that counts. So, anything you saw last night that either enhances what you believe or maybe gives you pause for concern?
Well, I mean, some of the questions that you had throughout the preseason, what are the edge rushers? Where are they? Without Josh Sweat, without Brandon Graham, where are they? The corner that has to be, the shoes of Darius Slay are big. And have they filled it? Because looks like it's a question mark still. Those were two big issues. The good thing is Jihaad Campbell's a player. Andrew Makuba, is a player. And I don't know what Sidney Brown's situation is right now. But, those Quinyon and the communication is so good between Cooper DeJean and the safeties, wherever he's lined up. I mean, he could play outside corner. I mean, when there are two wide receiver sets, he's the corner opposite of Quinyon. So, I mean, that's still, I think, in play to put Cooper out there at a corner and find somebody to play the slot. I think that's still in play right now for Vic.
Yeah. I think you're right. All right, big game tonight. So it's Chiefs-Chargers from Brazil. I talked to a weary Spags this morning. He's like, man, we have to travel all this way to play a football game. It's crazy. What do you think?
Honestly, I'm not. I was in the game in Brazil last year.
Yeah,
the Brazilians don't care when the game comes. I'm not so sure why the love of playing this game, on this Friday night in Brazil, a division game. It just feels like it should be at Arrowhead or SoFi.
Yeah.
You could play a preseason game down there. They don't care.
Yeah.
They want to see American football. Great. There's a way to do this. I don't know that it needs to be the second game of the season on Friday night.
Yeah, I kind of with you. It's not like I get the European thing, right? The London thing, it works, right? During the season, you get the early game and there's an interest there. You want to grow it. But down there, I don't know.
The atmosphere was wild. It's a wild atmosphere. It feels like World Cup soccer.
Right.
They don't know what's going on. They're going to get some Charger fans don't really travel, but Chief fans will be down there.
Yeah.
I'm all for playing these international games. I just don't know that a division game like this, it feels like it should be, at SoFi or at Arrowhead. That's just my thing. But it's a division game. These games count for two. And so, people are knocking the Chiefs. I just think, I thought the offensive line looked good to me. Josh Simmons looked good. The new left guard looked good. And all I saw is speed at receiver for the Chiefs. That Tyquan Thornton ran a 4.28 40. Xavier Worthy ran a 4.25. And Hollywood Brown, who knows what he runs.
Yeah.
I just think the deep ball is going to be in the Chiefs offense this year.
Yeah, I think you see a big Mahomes here. You could see it. And Kelsey, he looks like he's yo, I'm back. I want to make a statement. And with all that space on the field, with all that speed, that's going to open things up in the middle of the field for him.
I think so. I do. I think so. I know Travis, went to Boca Raton this year like he did early in his career. They rented a house, and he really got with his trainers that got him, and he wanted to get into better shape and get his speed back. And so we'll see. Look, he's 35. We'll see if all that returns. Forget about the celebrity part of the whole thing. He wants to go out with a good season, and he trained to be like that. So did Mahomes. Both of them look leaner and faster than we've seen them in recent years.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. And then Sunday, the games on Sunday are unbelievable. Where are you at Sunday?
I'm in Washington, man.
Oh, well,
I mean, don't take the Giants lightly. There's a lot of optimism around that football team right now.
Yeah, they could win that game. They could stun them.
They could.
That front, their front is going to be scary.
Well, we'll see. Jaden Daniels, it's unbelievable. You go back, he started 20 games last year, and he ran it 183 times. Like, that's a lot of runs for a quarterback.
Yeah.
That's what a running back gets.
Yeah.
And so I don't know that he can continue like that sort of pace and stand upright in this business. I'm sure the Giants, have a plan on third downs, especially with Abdul Carter and the linebacking core they have to try to corral him a little bit more.
So, Baldy, Lions, Packers. Oh, my God.
In Green Bay. Green Bay.
The new toy with Micah. Going up against the Lions. That's a great game. It's going to be wild. It's going to be wild. But Detroit still has so many home run hitters in that lineup. Jahmyr Gibbs can score from anybody. Jameson Williams can score from anywhere. Amon-Ra Brown can get open against anyone. This Isaac Tisla, their third-round pick from Arkansas, he looks better than Tet McMillan to me. Wow.
Like, the guy, big, fast, and tough. He's 6'5". He runs a 4.3, 840.
Damn.
And he caught everything in the preseason. Had touchdowns in every game in the preseason. And then you have Sam Laporta. If the offense line, is pretty good up front, minus two starters from a year ago, they could score from anywhere.
How do you think Green Bay? How about Matthew Golden? I think
he's great. They need an upgrade there. When they lost to the Eagles in that wild card game last year, you're throwing to Malik Heath. They're throwing to practice squad players.
Yeah.
Matthew Golden is a legit big time, receiver with great route running skills and hands and after the catch. He'll make a difference in that offense.
And then Sunday night, your Super Bowl champion predictions going up against the Ravens.
Yeah. Well, I don't know how anybody defends the Ravens offense. They look indefensible. Now you have, DeAndre Hopkins out there to go with Zay Flowers and Rashad Bateman and Mark Andrews, and then you try to stop the running game. And honestly, Lamar, all he does is keep getting better. He sees the field as well as any quarterback in his whole league. I asked him about it. I go, what's faster, your feet or your eyes? Because his eyes just, he sees things, and then he just has a Randall Cunningham trigger where he can throw the ball anywhere on the field on a rope and put it right where he wants to put it. I just think he's still improving somehow at whatever age he is right now.
Yeah, well, quarterbacks, they kind of, they age with it like a fine wine. Some of the great ones, they get better. I remember Brady saying he was 30, his mid-30s, and he said, "I'm way better now than I've ever been."
Yeah. Well, Lamar is just, to say he's not the best player in the league. Mahomes, of course.
Right.
But, it's Mahomes and Lamar and maybe Josh. Josh doesn't see the field quite as well.
Right.
And as fast as Lamar. He's not as fast as Lamar. He's great. You got three MVPs there, Mahomes, Josh, and Lamar. Pick your poison. But you combine Lamar with Derrick Henry.
Yeah.
This thing looks unstoppable at this point.
Yeah.
Hey, speaking of old quarterbacks, things have been quiet, surprisingly, in Pittsburgh. Are you hearing anything about Aaron Rodgers out there?
I hear he was awesome in preseason in how he practiced and as healthy as he's been. I hear he's looking really, really good. Everything from his snap counts to his hot reads to the offense. So we'll see. We'll see if the Jets, they know him as well as anybody. The Jets know Aaron Rodgers better than the Steelers do at this point. Sauce Gardner on DK Metcalf is the game within the game. We'll see. Justin Fields has struggled throughout preseason to really find open receivers. And if he does, can he get the ball to him? The Jets to lose Olivier Tucker before the season starts is just, he was just named the captain of the team.
Right.
And he's their best offensive lineman. And so they've already, as much as they try to get this line together, He tore his tricep 2 years ago. Now he tore his other one. Like, it's just, after tearing his Achilles, that's 3 season-ending injuries for Oliver Tucker. It's a shame because he's a really good player.
Yeah, yeah. Man, it's great to have him back.
And then Monday night, Minnesota. Like, I can't imagine a worse game for Caleb Williams to start than to have the Minnesota Vikings come to town with that defense that Brian Flores runs. I mean, it's going to be a great, great test to Ben Johnson and Caleb Williams to be able to handle that defense.
Well, and the whole idea of getting him to get rid of the football, that was the whole, work on them all.
He looked good in preseason doing it though, cuz.
No,
like he got rid of the ball.
He's a
from
great
the pocket.
coach. I think Ben Johnson's going to be really good at it.
I mean, he coached them really, really hard.
Yeah.
And you could see now, this is a
he went to the Tyson Bagent thing and went overboard. Like, he worked every angle for Caleb.
You're right. He did that. No, he's pushing buttons. He's pushing buttons to get his quarterback up to speed. But this defense that Flores runs it's very difficult to know who's coming, who's not coming, and what protection to get into, and where to go with the ball if there's a free hitter. I mean, there's so many components, and it's not just third down. It could be first down at your own 20-yard line. They could line up like that, and so it could come at any time.
Yeah, I can't wait. Who is JJ McCarthy? That's going to be the whole. I look at the Vikings. I go, I love their defense, like you said, with Flores. I think the coach is terrific. You love their skilled people. They have a good O-line. I just wonder about the quarterback.
I agree. And nobody knows. And so he played, sparingly in the preseason, so he didn't get to see much. After playing sparingly in the preseason, not playing at all last year. That's the question, because the team around him is really good and it's well coached. So it's a question. But look, I think it's significant to me that they went and got Carson Wentz and traded Sam Howell to the Eagles. Like, it's significant. Because I think Carson needs to get coached really hard, but the talent is still there.
Yeah.
And if something happens to JJ, like, can Carson rescue that team? Like, can he have
that's crazy?
I mean, it'd be so bizarre, Yeah. But Kevin, he's been to Los Angeles with McVay. He's great.
Kevin O'Connell's
he's been with Andy Reid.
Yeah.
Been with Andy. He's been around great coaches that coach quarterbacks well.
Yeah.
And now he's with Kevin O'Connell, who does the same thing. Like, maybe there's something there that
I wonder if Kevin
talked to we haven't seen in 5 years.
Like, I wonder if Kevin talked to Andy about him and said, "Hey, is he salvageable? Like, because Andy had him last year,
Well, he might have talked to Sean McVay. They know each other really well. What kind of practice habits? Like, does he fall? Has he gotten rid of the bad habits? I'm sure Kevin and the Minnesota staff, I'm sure they did their diligence on Carson, because he didn't go to training camp.
No,
like, he was out. Anybody could have had him. So, but they traded Sam Howell to the Eagles and said, we'll take Carson as our backup.
Yeah, that was wild.
Baldy, tonight's a big night with the Cuz Bowl. You got a premonition how it goes tonight? You got a lean?
They make fun of me because they make fun of me because I like Harbaugh, and I think Herbert is a legitimate quarterback.
Yeah. No, I never, if I have a choice, I'd never go against Andy Reid, Spags, and Mahomes ever in any game. Even the Super Bowl game. Like, I just believe in that trio.
Yeah.
Was that upset you?
No, I told you. Oh,
Look, Mekhi Becton didn't do anything in preseason. They're very, very disappointed in him. They lost their left tackle.
I could tell you.
What they think is going to be a great offensive line. I'm not sure right now. And so, where's Chris Jones going to line up? Like, that guy can line up anywhere.
Yeah.
And he's going to find the pigeon. Whoever that is up front, he's going to find the pigeon and go work him out.
I love it. All day. When you leaving?
I'm going Saturday down the Turnpike to Washington. Okay. Nice. I'm really excited about this game, because then, after this weekend, I'll see everybody in the NFC East, and you can start look, it's just week one, all that, but to see all 4 teams in the NFC East, and see the Cowboys play as well as they did with a great chance to win last night. And we'll see what the Giants do against a team that won 14 games last year and has, the reigning offensive rookie of the year.
Yeah, that's going to be awesome. Brother, you're the greatest. We love you.
Thanks, guys.
You're the one, the only.
Enjoy it, man. This is going to be fun tonight.
Oh, yeah. I'll be hitting you up. Be great, Baldy.
Okay. I'll be right here. Be right here watching it on both screens right here.
Yes. Baldy.
All right, guys.
I know. I'm good. I'm going
to crash that party.
I am going to crash the party. I have a, Moss has he's got football practice, and then he has a baseball game. Because fall ball started.
Ooh, what time's the baseball game start?
8:15.
His game starts at 8:15?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
I'll meet you at Baldy's the second half. I'll bring a beer ball.
Yeah. It's I go on my Game Changer app to look at the schedule, and I believe it's
You're watching the game on your phone.
8:15. Yeah, I'll DVR the game.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'll DVR the game because it's at 8:15, and I helped out, so I'll.
It's brutal. Like, what do you want to try and do date night as parents or something? 8:15 on a Friday.
Dude, there's no such date night as a parent.
That is
Speaking
crazy.
like a childless man that you are.
Dog,
Like Clint's
the
laughing.
dog father.
Like, are you kidding me?
Who's Friday night?
So we
baseball?
have a
It can't be like
beautiful
Sunday
wedding
through Thursday.
tomorrow night.
Oh, nice.
In fact, my dear friend Boo, his daughter Annie, who I love, who I held as a baby, is getting married tomorrow.
Oh, congratulations
nice.
to
So-
Boo and Annie.
It's a big bash. Of all my friends, the first child that's getting married. So, like, that's a big,
it's a big deal.
Yeah. So we're all going to be together, and so it'll be beautiful. So we have a big day planned tomorrow.
There you go.
In town and where?
No, it's in Longwood Gardens.
Oh, beautiful place.
Yeah. So it'll be
Love that place.
I love Annie Rotten.
Double up on your allergy meds.
Yeah. Yeah.
Jeez, oh, man.
Yeah, I know. How you
He's
got
going into the heart of it.
Pre-clog your nose so you don't
Yes.
get all messed up.
Yeah, it's tough, but it'll be but he's got a game.
Do you give a talk or?
No, I don't know. But Boo will give the big toast
Speech, yeah.
Yeah,
Man.
you get the
You never been to a wedding?
Yeah. Who knows? He goes to like black ritual weddings.
yeah.
Like who knows
Yeah.
what kind of
Pentagram on the ground, chanting.
dude,
Nice Quaker weddings. Everybody stands up and says something.
yeah, I don't know, dude. I don't know what you. I
The
don't even know
devil
where you.
binds your soul.
Yeah, like
hey, can we get
part
back?
of me worries about him. Like
Yeah.
I wonder. I'm like, is he? Like I know he's a good dude, but I worry about his like
Yeah.
spiritual kind of. You know what I'm saying?
Can we talk about the?
Drinking
Doesn't he-
blood and
Doesn't
stuff.
he kind of worries you a little bit?
You guys
no?
threw shrapnel at pentagrams. They were hijacked. They're like a pagan. They're the symbol of like
Dude,
earth,
it's
air, fire,
satanic.
water, spirit. It's not. It's not in nature.
Whatever,
It's been
dude.
hijacked.
Dude, I don't want to.
The pentagram just needs a better PR person.
Yeah, I'm out, dude. I'm out on the pentagram. Whatever it is, who took it over, whatever you want to talk about, a marketing campaign, whatever it is, I'm out on the pentagram.
Yeah.
All right.
If I
So
see one of
you
them,
and
I'm
your
walking
black
away.
magic.
What? I do not dabble in the black magic.
You're
We're
a
in the-
Santeria guy. You're a vampire. I don't even know
Vampires,
what
yes.
you
We're
are.
in the vampire world.
You're just a netherworld creature.
It's fun over here.
Yeah, you can stay
Living in the ether.
there. Yeah. In fact, I gotta take a shower. I leave here, man. Just like a soul shower. I don't even know what he's about.
And you got a game Saturday?
Right, Glenn? Yeah, I have a.
Well, that's a big pentagram guy.
No, he's not. I got a game. He's got two games. He's got a baseball game at noon and a football game.
So how do you work that in with the
3:45.
wedding?
So I could take him to the baseball game, and then I got to get him coverage. I'm going to ask my sister to take him to the football game.
All right. Is it what's the attire for the wedding?
I mean,
Was it formal, kind of like cocktail attire?
I don't know. I'm wearing a suit.
Okay.
Wearing like suit.
Tie?
Yes, of course. Of course, we're tie.
I don't know. Somewhere a little more casual.
No. It's whatever. We're a suit. Come on, bro. We have the brain. I can looking forward.
We
I
have
miss
the brain, yeah. You're
I
sitting
miss the
there-
brain. Oh my God! Because now the football's back. The brain will be with us on his regular, everyday occasion. So in fact, we need to do a new contest between the witch doctor and the brain. So, new contest between VG, Trash Man himself, and the brain.
Yeah.
Let's get him.
Brain. Red, the brain finder.
There he is.
Yo, brain.
What's up, brain?
Sorry, I was spitting some stuff out at my screen.
What do you say, pal? Good to see you.
No, great to see you too. Great to see you too. Good Eagles win. Tougher game than I was expecting, quite honestly.
Yeah, me too.
Obviously the entire game, I actually admire Dak Prescott for admitting that, yeah, we changed our entire game plan as soon as he got hurt.
Well,
like,
why wouldn't you?
Entire,
right? You know, that was obvious. You take the piece down.
It was obvious. Dallas play. It's funny. It's crazy. Dak actually threw. I mean, CeeDee Lamb. I mean, wow, those were just horrific. I mean, those drops were just. I mean, for the guy who's the highest paid receiver, man, that was or second highest, whatever it is.
Man, the two were cradles. Like they were like right there. Like, oh my.
But you know what? Again, they got to win. At the end of the day, you got to get those wins, those tough games. You got to find a way to win them. Credit to them after giving up, they give 20 in the first half. Did Dallas even score in the second half?
I don't think so. No.
What was the final score? Was it 24-20?
24-20, and it was 21-20 at halftime. Imagine, what was the total? 48?
Yeah, I mean, the fact that game went under.
It's unbelievable. Man. It was 21-20 at halftime. It looked like nobody could stop anybody.
That was like impossible to go under, and it went under. But look, again, that's why you never know. That's why I'm so paranoid of these things. You never know until the game's over what's going to happen, what crazy stuff you can see. But again, it was an interesting game to me. I got to ask you guys, Anthony and VG, a question. I was just, and again, I don't know. AJ Brown. Now, again, maybe it was just the game plan, but he didn't even, again, I look at the game like, he didn't even look for him. Like, it was almost like,
I thought he did.
Was open.
Okay, so I thought he looked for him. He was making progressions. Like if you watched him, go back and watch it, he's going through progression. So he looked at his way. So it was interesting talking to Baldy, who broke down the all-22. I haven't seen the all-22 yet. But Baldy said that, when the Cowboys blitzed him, he was hesitant to make the throw to AJ because like the throw has to be an anticipation throw. So that's not what Jalen doesn't like to imperil.
That's not his thing.
Yeah. So that's where, but the Cowboys, I thought, did a great job in coverage at taking away AJ outside the numbers, right? So that's, it was funny. Fran made a good point about when teams play single high safety against them, that's when AJ goes off, right? But they didn't. They played quarters, right? So if you're playing quarters, you're taking away both outside receivers outside the numbers. So then what's that leave you? It leaves you running lanes, and it leaves you Goddard over the middle, right? And that's kind of what really they did.
In the I don't know how many years is this AJ's third year or fourth year here? Whatever it is, but probably is this since the AJ Brown and Devonta Smith era, let's call it. I don't think I've ever seen a game, and I maybe that Giants game when 2 years ago when they lost to Tampa Bay in the playoffs. I don't even count that game, but at the end of the year, week 17. But I don't remember a game where the two of them got completely stoned like that, where they weren't even. I can't recall a game where neither receiver did anything. And this since they've had these two all pro receivers,
it's usually been one or the other, right? Like it's usually been one or the other, and like I feel you. Both getting shut out was surprising, but again, if you're playing quarters defense and you're opting to play that way, I ask
you guys a question. My highest stakes, my Bitcoin league, highest stakes fantasy. You guys will be glad to know my first two picks: Saquon Barkley, AJ Brown. What were the odds of those two? I'm going against Javonte Williams. Those two being outscored by Javonte Williams, 5,000 to 1, 10,000 to 1,
Are you
$1 million to 1. And by the way, these side bets per week, oh my God, it's probably over the NFL salary cap. I'm watching Javonte Williams just like score 20 touchdowns, AJ Brown not involved. I'm like, oh my gosh. I can't believe that.
Oh,
but it was just, I was just really surprised that just but again, the first half especially, they were so good offensively. They didn't punt. They scored basically every time the Eagles. But
I also think after the delay, the other thing you have to remember, right?
The delay kind of changed things.
Right. The offense is still, this is a preseason game, right? That counts. Like when you don't play the preseason, like that's kind of what happens, right? So, between the coverage, I thought Eberflus called a really good game. I do. And couple that with, not being in rhythm, that's what you get.
Anthony, I heard you talking with Baldy about Jalen Carter. And I thought it was interesting what you guys were saying about, you said the guy has demons or whatnot. I don't know if did you guys watch the Cowboys special on Netflix? I just finished watching.
No, I didn't see it. I
saw a couple episodes.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting because I don't know if you got to the part with Charles Haley yet.
No.
Okay. Just seeing some of the stuff that guy did, and it almost seemed, and that's why they had to get rid of him. It almost seemed, I don't know if it's like that, but seeing a player like that who's that talented, but like maybe has demons, it can be a hard thing to manage, I guess.
Yes, hard thing to manage. I mean, truthfully, and I know, Big Dom gets a lot of publicity and all this other stuff. He deserves it. What the guy does, and the guy like Jalen Carter will really only listen to two people, and it's Dom and it's Clint Hurt, right? The defensive line coach. And, I mean, that's not uncommon, right? Like you mentioned Charles Haley, there's John Randall. There's a lot of guys. There was a guy, Zeus, Orlando Brown. In fact, his son played. Like, what makes defensive players, I was just having this conversation with Spags because we were talking about it. But what makes some of these guys really, really good is that they're a little unhinged, right? Like, to play defense, let's face it, in the NFL, you got to be a little unhinged. You got to be crazy. Like, you got to not care. You got to be, and again, it doesn't always jive with everyday life. Like, we watch things like from our, like, we're watching the game last night. The whole world's watching the game on television. And people say, oh my God, what was he thinking? And the point is, he's not thinking.
100%.
It's like.
By the way, I've seen it a million times, and everyone's done it. I don't care who you are. I call it temporary insanity, where in that moment, you're just not you, and you just, like, you're in just a completely different zone, and you're just, just, something just occurs that it triggers you. And in that exact second, you're not thinking. I don't think it's just Jalen Carter. I think it could be anyone in the world that can happen to in an exact moment.
But couple
you're
that
honest
with
in your life, we've all had a moment where we flipped out. Maybe we didn't spit in someone's face, but we did something that we weren't proud of, whether it was screaming at someone, yelling at someone, cursing, whatever it is. Every person in the world, as an adult, I think has more or less done that at some point.
Yeah, but he's a little different case because he's had a pretty, I think, probably a traumatic childhood. I think that's
sure.
And then how he responds in that is with a grin, like a almost a sinister grin.
Did you guys? With Dak, it looked like, did you talk about it, guys? Dak?
Yeah, we talked about it.
He definitely spit first.
Yes. And whether, Mike Garafolo thought like Andrew and a lot of our friends in the chat thought that, Dak was inciting him. I don't know.
He did. He was laughing at him. He spit and then he started laughing.
Well, he spit, right? Like you can see he spit, but he spit to the ground. It wasn't like he was spitting at him. And then I think Carter's going, was that for me? And I'm thinking,
of course.
I'm imagining Dak going, what's wrong with you, man? What's wrong with this guy? Like, I wasn't spitting at you. And then maybe he was egging him on, but I don't think he spit purposely to egg him on. Like, I'm going to spit here, so then he's going to spit on me. I don't think they get tossed in the game. I don't think it was that. But, who knows?
Yeah.
Yeah,
who knows? But I saw Dak. I thought Dak was definitely antagonizing him. Give Dak credit. like it works.
I think after, like, I think when Carter kind of moves up and starts yapping at Dak, when Jalen does that, I think then you're right. I think he sees the opportunity at that point. I'm just saying, I don't think it was a premeditated hawk.
No, probably. Oh, no way. I agree with that. No, I agree with that.
Do you think it was a premeditated hawk, Andrew?
I don't. Maybe not that, but there was definitely he was provoking him. He spit. He looked up, smiled, kind of made this smirk at him, and then Jalen whatever went off.
Is Jalen going to start a Hawk Tua page?
You're right.
Dak Tua.
Dak Tua.
Dak Tua. I like it.
All right, lots to unwrap here for a football weekend. Let's go. Let's begin first tonight. Do you have any plays on Chargers Chiefs?
You know, Anthony, I actually initially did bet the Chiefs laying 3, and the line's still sitting at 3, but I don't like the game as much now. When I made the bet, I really was not anticipating Rashee Rice being suspended.
Right.
And to me, that's where you may disagree, but I think that's worth a half point. I think I do. I think he's a really good player, and I think that him coupled with Worthy had a chance to be, and I still think the Chiefs can have a good year because they're going to have that combination the second half of the year. And then when Slater went down, I bet.
But they do have Hollywood Brown, and they do have Tyquan Thornton, who I mean, I know you're scoffing, but but I'm telling you, they like those guys. Like they like the speed. They like the speed.
All right, Tyquan Thornton. Tyquan Thornton. Again, I try to be fair. Tyquan Thornton, has he ever caught 10 passes in a year?
I'm just telling you what I heard from down there. That's all. You know.
That's one.
He had a big preseason, so they like the way he looked in the preseason.
Yeah, but John Ross ran a 4.240. He never caught any passes either. Remember him from the Bengals?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
I don't think without Rice, guys, I don't think this is a good receiving room. I think he's the best guy on the team, definitely. And then Worthy, I think, is a really nice second piece.
Yeah.
I think without him, I think that changes the entire complex of their game plan. To me, obviously, Coach Reed knows a trillion times more than me, but I think Rice was a huge part. He was emerging as a legit wide receiver.
Yeah, I think you're right. I mean, I think in 6 weeks they'll get much better, but I mean, I do.
Yeah, I think in 6 weeks. But look, we're talking tonight's game. The line's sitting at 3. Now I think it's more the right line. Not a game I'm personally betting. Probably lean under, if anything, 47.5. Because I do respect the Chargers defense. I do respect the Chiefs defense. We know Harbaugh. What does he like to do?
Runs. Yeah. Hampton.
Pacheco seemingly back healthy. To me, that would be probably my favorite bet of the day, would be leaning that way.
All right. How about let's go Sunday? There are some
a lot of stuff.
Amazing games on Sunday. I mean, we were talking about earlier: Lions, Packers, Ravens, Bills, Texans, Rams, Buccaneers, Falcons, Bengals, Browns. Like they're Giants, Washington. There's a million of them. They're all. I mean, I'm into watching all of it. What do you? What are your favorites?
Well, Anthony, again, and you probably already know what I'm going to say is my favorite. I've been knowing full anticipation I can have egg on my face at the highest of high levels. I'll take it. Just add it to the list. Everyone's going to be wrong, but the Giants have the lowest over/under in the NFL this year, tied with Cleveland and New Orleans. Okay. Again, not only do I not think the Giants are the worst team in the NFL, I think they're far from the worst team in the NFL, and they're being lined as the worst team in the NFL. If they're the worst team in the NFL, I just don't see it. I think their defense is going to be top 5 in the NFL. That good?
Top 5 for the G.
Top 5.
Wow.
I think their running game.
Well, their front's pretty damn good.
I think their running game is going to be extremely good. I think this team, now the schedule is ranked number 1, hardest schedule in the NFL. So I understand that drawback. I don't think Brian Daboll is a buffoon. He won Coach of the Year, 2 years ago? Now, because he was bad last year, everyone thinks he's the worst coach in the league.
Oh, I liked him in Buffalo, so I agree with you.
I don't think he's the worst
I thought
coach
it
in
was
the
a
league.
personnel thing more than a data thing.
And by the way, there is a chance, a non-zero chance, that if either A, they just make a move, or B, Wilson gets hurt, that Jackson Dart's legitimately good. His preseason was nothing less than spectacular.
Dude, I would start Dart. I'd start Dart all day long. I agree. I actually like Dart.
Yeah, well, he was great in college, obviously. And look, with these college players, I feel like you just don't know until they play. But he certainly, and I watched all of their preseason games. He certainly, again, to me, he looked great. I thought he looked great. Not good. I thought he played exceptional. I think the Giants are going to come in again. I think the Giants are going to come in second in the division.
I know you. I know how you're feeling.
Going Giants outright. I did my Eagles that VG said, Eagles Giants exacta. VG said it. I did it that day. I bet the Giants to win the division. Bet the Giants to come in second. Bet the Giants over 4.5 wins. Bet the Giants over 5.5 wins. Bet the Giants to make the playoffs. Giants are now become my biggest investment. I'm saying I don't think they're the worst team in the league. And they don't, by the way, they don't have to be good for me to win these bets. That's the best part about it. They can go 6-11 and stink, and I still cash these tickets. Yeah, I think they can beat Washington. I think they're going to beat Washington. You can get 6 points. I think it's still, and I did bet also under 46.5. I think it's 46 now. I think the Giants defense will fare well. And even though they scored 35 a game in the preseason, the Giants, I'm not expecting that.
Right.
But yeah, I think, you know what's funny? If I was offered, I couldn't hedge it. It was just, I was offered, I could cure cancer, win billions of dollars, everything in the world, but I couldn't hedge. I just had to be right. Who wins, Giants or Washington? I would say Giants. And I know that goes against
that's a statement. That's a brainment.
I could be so humble. Listen, I could be absolutely.
Oh, I love it. You're bold brain. I love bold brain.
I will take it. I will take the ridicule, and I'll deserve it.
All right.
I'll deserve it. But I think the Giants are. I think they're a much better team than the market is saying they are. But we'll see how it plays out. I could be dead wrong.
I like it. Anything else?
A lot of other games. Yeah. Yeah. Listen. You know, it's funny. Texans Rams. Unfortunately, it's gone up to 3. But why is this line 3? To me, I think again, Stafford's playing week 1. That's all I can go by. Rams for the season, no interest. In the sense that I don't know if we're going to get Stafford for 17 games or for 17 quarters. I don't know that. But I'm getting him for game 1. The Texans, to me, they're favored to win the division. This was a team I watched very closely last year. Man, this was a team that had a lot of warts. Their offensive line was, I thought, as bad as any offensive line in the league last year. So what do? We're going to trade away our one all-pro lineman. Stroud regressed. I think a lot of that was
his
not
line.
his fault.
He had no.
Yeah, I think a lot of it wasn't
and his receivers
fault.
got hurt. Yeah.
Well, they lose Dell. They lose Diggs. So they sign Christian Kirk, or they trade Christian Kirk, who's a pro. He's out this game. Nico's incredible, but they lose Joe Mixon, who actually played really well for them last year.
He may not come back for months.
I don't think he is coming back from what I've heard.
Well,
I look at this team, and I'm going to be honest, guys. This team, to me, what are the Texans?
Yeah.
I think the Rams are good.
Yeah.
I think the Texans are, again, 9.5. I think they're 9.5 season win better. I actually may bet that. I don't think the Texans are all that and a bag of chips. I think the Rams, this line should have been at least 2 points higher. I think the Texans are getting credit for winning the division last year, but I think this team, kind of like the Orioles last year in baseball, I thought people aren't looking at what happened in the offseason. I think the Texans have gotten
you could call the Orioles for sure. You're going to call the Texans. I like it.
I just think the Texans are. I think they've lost some pieces.
Yeah.
And I think it's going to be hard for them to beat a Rams team that I think we would all agree is a good, I'm not saying great, but a good team. I think this line's too short. Give me the Rams to even laying the 3. 2.5 was the nuts, but 3, I still like it.
You bring another short line while you're talking short lines. The Buccaneers Falcons feel short to me. Buccaneers minus 1.5.
There's a lot of Falcons.
Well, I bet the Falcons plus 2.5, so I'm going to disagree with you on this one. I like the Falcons and teasers still. That's the way to bet this when these lines become 1.5. Do a 6-point teaser, take the Falcons up to 7.5 or 8, whatnot. I actually think the Falcons in the NFC now, unfortunately for them, they lost their best offensive lineman for the year. Again, that doesn't ever affect the line, but I'm sure ask Baldy, he'll tell you, you lose your offensive lineman, that certainly affects things and whatnot. And both these teams banged up. Godwin out, McMillan out. They have a couple defensive players out. Wirfs, who's arguably the best lineman in the league, is out. Tampa Bay has a lot of injuries. I think Atlanta wins this one. I actually like Penix. Small sample size, guys. Tiny. I like Penix.
Well, I like Penix. I'm a Penix guy.
I think Atlanta wins this one. I thought Atlanta should have been a baby favorite, and they made the other team the tiny favorite. Again,
all right, let's do this real quick. In order to get to, because we do have to move. I'm going to give you. I'm going to give you the game. You give me a lean. All right.
You got it.
Cardinals, Saints.
I mean, listen. This may surprise you. The line's now 6.5. Lean Saints can't get there. They're the worst team in the league, I think. But 6.5, the Cardinals, I can't do it.
But I had a buddy of mine ask me for a survivor pick.
Survivor.
I gave him the Cardinals.
Listen. Everyone's going to take Anthony. If you win Survivor, if you're winning against 10 people, take the most likely winner, which would arguably be the Cardinals, and I agree, or the Eagles yesterday. But if you're in a Survivor pool with like 500 people or 1,000 people, if you're trying to win and you have to zig when everyone else is zagging. The team I like for Survivor this week, guys, Jacksonville Jaguars. I think the Jaguars are going to be much better than people think. Trevor Lawrence, my number one breakout player this year. No one's going to take them. If you get upsets, let's suppose the Browns beat the Bengals, the Saints were to somehow win. You saw Dallas almost win yesterday. Everyone's going to be taking those teams. Everyone.
Yeah.
No one's going to take Jacksonville. Yeah. If you just get like an upset day where teams lose. But listen, obviously, I think that being said, in my elimination polls, I did take Arizona and a few of them. But
I think Arizona and Denver because I don't. There's no way.
Denver, that's the other one. Denver to me is the best one. I think Denver's the most likely winner of all the teams on.
In fact, I look at that. Rookie quarterback. They have nothing.
It's gonna be hard.
I mean, I could see Denver blowout. It's
going to be hard.
I think you lay the point. I think you could lay the points in that game too.
Love Denver and teasers.
Yeah. Dolphins, Colts.
I bet the Colts. You may say why?
No, I think the Colts. I think the Colts win. I actually weirdly think Daniel Jones plays well.
That's it. Yeah, so we always seem to agree. I was about to say, no joke, Cameron LeBron, I was about to say, I swear, I was about to say, I weirdly think Daniel Jones plays well. That was me, my next line.
Are you serious?
No joke. Under oath, court of law. I was about to say, I really
do. I think he plays well.
Yeah, the exact sentence.
I don't like him, but I think he plays well.
I don't like him either. Yeah, and Miami, I don't know, just a lot of bad juju there.
New England, the Raiders. I like New England that game.
I bet the opposite side in this one, Anthony. I bet the Raiders +3. It's down to 2.5.
Yeah.
I actually like the Raiders a lot in teasers. I like the Raiders this year. Now, I think New England's going to be vastly improved. And Henderson looks incredible for them in the preseason. But I think the upgrade that the Raiders got at quarterback can't be overstated enough. I think the Raiders win this one outright. I think that, again, 3, I really liked it. 2.5, okay. I like it more in teasers. But I think the Raiders are improved. And I think they actually get
the Rodgers Bowl.
I may get out of my bet. I bet the Jets getting 3, losing the lineman.
Yeah.
I hate when those things happen. I feel like it changes. Yeah. Look, when Jalen Carter left the game, I feel like it changes everything.
Yeah, it does. It changes everything.
This is now going to be a total pass for me.
Niners, Seahawks.
I initially really liked San Fran. San Fran has too many injuries.
Yeah.
Too many injuries. Yeah. And I'm now McCaffrey listed as whatever.
Yeah.
For me, the only bets I'd be looking here would be the Seattle with teasers, pass on the side.
Lions, Packers.
This is a great game.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a really great game. I really love to see if Micah plays. If Micah doesn't play, I think Detroit wins.
Okay.
I do. If Micah plays, the game will be a pass for me. I really like these. Again, I really like both these teams. I think what Baldy said is true. I think people are forgetting how good Detroit is.
Right.
I mean, yeah, they lost in the playoffs. I think people are sleeping on Detroit, which is crazy to say for a 15-2 team.
Bills and Ravens.
Listen, I just you put your flag down and you just take a stand. I just think the Ravens are better. I know the Bills won last year. If you watch that game, man, I don't like anyone. Coach McDermott, Josh Allen watches that game and said that they should have won. I mean, the Ravens are just better, and they found a way to win, which I give the Bills credit for. But I just think the Ravens are the better team. I think they find a way to get revenge in a game that, obviously they wish it was the playoffs. I just think they're better than the Bills. I think they're the best team. Honestly, I think they're the best team. When I did my power rankings, I had them ranked number 1.
All right. Anything in college?
I'm going to give you a couple things.
Yeah, and I'll hit you with one. Your Michigan team, the quarterback's going to be legit. He's going to be a player.
Yep. Well, Anthony, it's funny. That was the game I was going to go to. First of all, is this the worst college slate you've ever seen?
Yes, because of week 1.
Week 1 was so good. By the way, Clemson broke my heart. I mean, they just got so dominated. But
LSU's defense legit.
No, for sure. And VG, did you end up betting LSU for anything?
No, I stuck in the trash. I was 2-0 last week. I had Tarleton State and Toledo both hit.
There you go. Well, Oklahoma, Michigan. I like 2 things in this game. I bet Michigan plus 5.5. I don't understand the line. I got to be honest. I don't understand the line.
Well, you know what?
I thought it would be
Oklahoma and Mateer had a big first week, so everybody thinks. I had somebody tell me that Mateer is going to have a ridiculous year.
Well, that was my second bet. I love over 44.5. I think both teams are going to score definitely 21 plus.
Yeah,
I really do. I
agree.
Now it's been bet down. This opened 47.5, and it's been bet down heavily. I'm going against this move now. It's gone down 3 points. I like over 44.5. I liked what I saw out of Underwood. I think Mateer. I know Mateer is good. I think both teams absolutely can score 21 plus. I thought this total should have been where it opened at, which was the high 40s. It's now 44.5. Those were actually my 2 favorite bets. I'll give you one other, more of an obscure game, but I have Memphis power ranked as like an average team. Again, no great shakes. But I have Georgia State as one of the worst teams in college football. They got destroyed last week, Georgia State. Memphis rolled, again, not against a good team, but they covered as a big favorite, and they covered. This line I thought would have been closer to 17. You could lay 13. I like Memphis, and again, more of a, I'm not going to call it a trash man game, but more about the VG alley of a game that, not necessarily on everyone's radar.
Yeah.
But those were probably my three favorite college bets of the weekend.
I love these 3 independently, but as a 10-point teaser, I love them. Northwestern minus 31.5 versus Western Illinois. I love Louisville minus 15.5 versus James Madison. And give me the North Texas Mean Green minus 10 versus Western Michigan.
I mean, I never go against your picks with these things. I'm not disagreeing.
They make the perfect three-team 10-point teaser, but I like them individually as well.
Yeah, no, there you go. I respect it.
All right, that's great stuff, brother. I know you got a baseball thing for us. Anything?
It's fun. Yeah, the one thing I like in baseball, 5-inning line. I like under 4.5 runs. You have to lay a little bit of juice. I think it was like $1.50-ish. Chris Sale going against Logan Gilbert. Sale, you saw what he did against the Phillies. He pitched like, guess who? He pitched like Chris Sale. Gilbert, except for that, he had one awful game, but he's pitched really well since he's come back from his injury. I thought this line should have been closer to 3.5. I call this one, let's call it 1-1 after 5. Give me under 4.5. Chris Sale versus Logan Gilbert. 5-inning line. Don't like messing with bullpen, especially the Braves bullpen. So prefer the 5-inning line in this one, guys.
All right, brother. Great stuff, man. Enjoy the weekend.
Appreciate it.
All right, good luck.
Good,
I'll talk to you tomorrow.
Thanks, guys. Yeah. You got it, brother. Be good, guys.
See you, buddy. There you go, Brain. All right, this is a long one today. It was a lot of fun. Let's go. Glenn, come here for the back of the day. By the way, thanks for hanging with us. Our man G Money, Glenn from Wallingford, came to visit. One of my favorite callers. I love. You can put that on. One of my favorite guys. We always talk Temple, and you're a great sportsman, dude.
Oh, thank you very much. Just a sports fan, just like the rest of us, right?
Yeah, you're a good sportsman, man.
It was funny because I was before the show started. I was talking to VG, and I was talking during the rain delay last night. I was watching the U.S. Open women's semifinal. So I definitely spread myself way thin. My wife wants to kill me most mornings. I went to bed late last night, and I'll wake up, watch some Euro qualifiers too. So yeah,
it's the best, man. It's what we love.
It is the best. She'll get on me. Oh, you do this, and that. And I'm like, sports is the best reality TV, man. I mean, just what I do, right? Besides working and doing stuff like that, and spending time with the family, and then I do stuff like this.
That's what dads do, and vampires is right.
Exactly. So we all got that in common, man.
Yeah, great to have you, buddy.
No, man, it was great to hear everybody. Baldy's the best. All the guys, I love it, man. So when I'm at home or I'm working, checking on the YouTube every day if I can, unless I'm in Canada. But if I'm working, I'll check in on Canada too. So it's awesome. You guys are the best.
Thanks, brother. We appreciate it. And you can watch on YouTube. It's on demand, so you can catch up on any of these shows anytime during the day. Do us a favor and like and subscribe. It really helps us. So tell your friends, because it helps us create this great content for the whole network. So please like and subscribe. We appreciate it. All right, let's end on our back of the day moment.
Let's do it.
We're going back. We're going back. We're going back. Back in the day with True Mark. Oh, yeah.
Who's that vampire?
Well, I mean, it's football, but, the Marlins are in town. We're trying to clinch first place, first round bye. So let's go back to a good Marlins memory. 2010. Doc, perfect game.
That's a great one.
Yeah.
Give
a good little mojo for the weekend.
That's a great one.
Halliday's got his size. The 1-2 pitch. Hit toward third. Castro has it. Spins, fires. A perfect game.
That was a nice play, too.
The second perfect game. In Philadelphia,
yeah, he was the best.
He faces 27 batters.
27. Up 27. Down. That same day was the day of the Flyers Stanley Cup. I was in Chicago covering the game, and I got a call because I was writing columns for AOL Fan House.
Oh, I remember that.
And they were saying, hey, we need a column on the Halliday. So I'm like, all right. And I was covering the Flyers game. So I wrote a Halliday column while I was there.
Nice.
Yeah, never forget. Great stuff, man.
I'll go track it down and read it this weekend.
All right. That's cool to do. Listen, Philly should roll.
Yeah, they should. Actually, here's just a little nug. Since the All-Star break, Phillies have the second best record in baseball, 26-18. Only Milwaukee's better, 30-15.
It was a great couple days in Milwaukee, right? Yeah. Great job. I got one little slight concern. What is it?
You're worried about these guile guys.
Correct. Left-handed guile guys. That's what I worry about. Andrew, that's a one issue because
so who's got them?
They couldn't hit Quintana.
Milwaukee's got them.
They couldn't hit Quintana, and they couldn't hit Peralta. So that's the only guys like those Manayas, those left-handed dudes. It's weird. They just have a spell on them.
Those lefties.
Yeah.
Anyway, Nola stinks.
Yeah. Well, that's all right. They took 2
We gave him enough time.
We tried.
Yeah. And to me. You're the Phillies, lefty.
Yep.
All right, that's how you're doing it. It's Sanchez on the mound tonight too, so they should.
Yeah, they're like minus 295 tonight.
Yeah, that's great. All right, everybody, great stuff. That could go all day, man. We really appreciate it. We love you guys. Have a great weekend. 1-0, baby, and we get to enjoy NFL football all weekend.
All weekend.
All right, we'll see you on Monday. Talk about it.
We all silly like the mayor.